What's up, guys? It's your boy TPP, and I'm back with that true crime talk live, baby. Let's go, y'all. We got some breaking news. We got a press conference on the active shooting. But yeah, let's get into it. I know I just jumped up here, and most of you aren't even in the room yet, but it is what it is. Let's get into it.
6:56 this evening. A couple of shooting incidents occurred here with multiple casualties.
What's going on with the sound? One second.
If they see anything suspicious, please feel free to call their local authorities. We have...
Let's back it up, guys. It just started.
And let all of us know exactly what's going on, and hopefully we have a resolution to this very soon. But in the meantime, they're asking everyone to shelter in place, lock your doors.
And we've said that number 22, at least 22, over and over and over again tonight. Those are human beings. Those are moms, dads, brothers, and sisters. To put it into perspective, last year in Maine, there were 29 homicides. Today alone, 22 people died.
That's a big number, and it's something that we here in Maine have never seen. And obviously, it's a big deal. A lot of national news networks have been picking this up and covering this because this affects a lot of people. We're hearing that.
Good to see everybody. Good to see everybody. I know I just jumped up. I figured we might as well cover this. This is insane, guys. Like 50 plus injured, 22 dead at this point. I'll shut up. I'll let them talk.
The police are getting ready to do a press conference, so we'll get to that the minute we see them come up to the podium there. We're keeping an eye on that. But again, just to remind you that this has been a very active scene all night tonight. We first got word, you see there on Lincoln. All right, we're going to...
For joining us here this evening, my name is Mike Sawchuk. I'm the Commissioner for the Department of Public Safety here in Maine. We truly do appreciate your patience and your partnership as we work with all of our partners across the law enforcement spectrum at all levels, local, state, county, and federal, to address and investigate these violent crimes that occurred in the city of Lewiston this evening. As you know, this is an experienced group. We won't have a lot of Q&A here this evening. This still is very fresh. It's new. It's new for all of us. And our focus is on the investigation and getting this right the first time. And we're doing that with our partners. And we do appreciate you putting out information from time to time. Moving forward, we would appreciate it if you got that information from us so that we knew that it was accurate. And that is incredibly important for all of us from an investigative standpoint and from a public safety standpoint, that we have a unified front with this information as we release it. The delay in coming here with you now is simply because we want to confirm information from our end. We want to make sure the information we're giving you and the information that goes out to the general public is accurate. So we do have some information here that we will release. It is here on the podium. And this is a general caution to the public. That approximately 6:56 this evening, a couple of shooting incidents occurred here with multiple casualties in the city of Lewiston. And police are currently searching for a Robert R. Card, 4/4 of 1983, voting.
Damn, he's my age.
Card is considered armed and dangerous. He is a person of interest, however, and that's what we'll label him at moving forward until that changes. If people see him, they should not approach Card or make contact with him in any way. The shelter-in-place order that currently stands in Lewiston remains. A vehicle, which was a vehicle of interest in this incident, was located in Lisbon, and we are now also asking residents in Lisbon to shelter in place. So please share that information with communities as well. If anybody sees Mr. Card or has any additional information reference to these two shootings in the city of Lewiston, please contact 911. If they see anything suspicious, please feel free to call their local authorities. We have literally hundreds of police officers working around the state of Maine to investigate this case, to locate Mr. Card, who again is a person of interest only. And we'll continue to gather information so that we can bring the suspect to justice and ultimately seek prosecution down the road.
He don't look old, man. I just look good for 40.
This release also includes a photo, which I believe I have seen from various sources. I would also let you know that we have created a reunification location, and that would be at the Auburn Middle School, so in the neighboring community of Auburn. at 38 Falcon Drive. Again, that's the Auburn Middle School. And when I say reunification center or location, what that means is that if somebody has a question or they have a concern, they can't find a loved one, they believe that a friend or a family member may be involved in what occurred here tonight in Lewiston, that they can respond to that location. We will have some of our behavioral health liaisons, counselors on site, and we'll also be providing information as it becomes available to us. As you can imagine, and as you know, there are multiple scenes in the city, to include multiple hospitals, multiple
40. I'm 40.
follow-ups, a lot of witnesses we're speaking with, and a lot of leads. The general public has been very cooperative and very forthcoming with information. So I would expect if we have additional information, we'll be happy to come back and share it with you. I know that from the city of Lewiston standpoint, probably going to close City Hall after this briefing and probably move everybody out. But again, we appreciate your partnership and your patience. I would offer to take questions just so you know that I probably won't have answers. And as long as you know that going in, there's no disrespect intended in that. Feel free to ask a couple, and if I think we can get there, then I'm happy to answer those.
I like this guy. I like him.
If not, we do have work to do on behalf of our communities, and that's our primary focus this evening.
There are many specific figures about casualties are out there. The sheriff Sampson told me up as many as 20. I just wanted to see those opportunities to record straight on that.
Yeah, I do appreciate that. And I know that there's been a lot of numbers out there. This is a very fluid situation. So the last thing I want to come up is give you a number and then 3 hours from now, change that in one direction or another. So I don't have firm numbers on that. And when I do, we'll be happy to share those with you, because it's an important piece of healing and it's an important piece of information for all of us to be aware of. But I don't have a firm number on that.
At least 16, right?
I think I just answered that question to say that I'm not going to give you any specific numbers. And there's been a lot of numbers all over the map all evening. And I don't
Forgive me, guys. When this is over, I'm going to go back to your chat and give you all love. We got to chat about this.
think that that's helpful because it doesn't help family members. It certainly doesn't help the community to see, well, they just said this and they said that. So if you want accurate information, I'm prepared to give that to you when I have it. I don't have that right now.
Does the suspect have any known criminal history with law enforcement?
Callie Zircon.
Is he someone who's been on the radar of state police or local police, to your knowledge?
Well, Mr. Card, who we're speaking about right now, is a person of interest and a person of interest only, right? I'm not listing him as a suspect at this point, and we're not prepared to go into his background or anything else that we may be aware of. One more question?
You're only looking for one shooter, correct?
We're looking for this person of interest right now, and that's what we'll label and list and speak about at this particular moment. When we have additional information, I'm happy to share that. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. Again, thank you for your time. And I know Assistant City Manager O'Malley will make arrangements, I think, to move everybody out of the building. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. These are the flyers that we were mentioning. So keep it grab those, and we'll talk to you again soon. Thank you very much.
That's how you run a press conference like a damn pro, y'all. I like that guy. He was about business. No messing around. We've seen some whack press conferences. That was not one of them. I like that. All right, guys. It's gonna cut back over to the news station. We're gonna get some more information and whatnot. So let me roll through chat and check it out. See who's here. Back row Becky, good to see you, man. Steph V, good to see you. Julie Dope, Mom, good to see you. Mama Michelle Bell, good to see you. Let's see who else we got here. Jim B. Obviously, good to see you, Jim B. Moto Mom, good to see you. Sir Khan, good to see you. Tennessee Sweetheart, good to see you. All right. See you later. Good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you all for being here. I know I just popped up out of nowhere, but you know how I do sometimes. You know how I do. But let's get into this coverage and see what else.
The Commissioner for Maine's Public Safety, Michael Soschuk, just briefing the press on what's going on. Really, we didn't get much information out of that, except that they
April P. Good to see you.
Continue to be searching for 40-year-old Robert Card, who they are calling a person of interest in this. And they did locate a vehicle that they believed he was in Lisbon, but it was empty. So they are asking people in Lisbon to shelter in place while they continue their search. Robert Card is believed to be armed and dangerous. They are also still asking people in Lewiston to shelter in place at this point.
Yeah, the only other major bit of information there was that there is a reunification center they've opened up as well. That's at the Auburn Middle School at 38 Falcon Court, I believe. So they have opened up a reunification center for families there. And in terms of the numbers, our reporting, we just want to be clear here. We are reporting at least 22 people killed in that Lewiston shooting. This is according to NBC News through the Lewiston Police Department. But as you heard there, Michael Soschuk, the commissioner for Department of Public Safety, was not ready to firmly say just how many. And of course, this is tough for them. We understand taking reporters' questions like that. So they're trying to make sure that information is right before they officially.
Oh, Steph V, where did you hear that? My questions are not for Ellie. My questions are for the hospital that released him in 2 weeks after threats and hearing voices. Yo, where did you hear that?
Say it, but
that's crazy.
We just want to be transparent about where that number is coming from on our end.
And of course, we certainly recognize this is very difficult for families to be watching and unsure of whether their loved ones, whether their friends were at Schmengi's or whether they were at Spare Time or somehow caught up in the midst of any of this, or maybe they have people in Lisbon Falls who are being asked to shelter in place, or in Lewiston being asked to shelter in place. But again, as Zach just mentioned, that reunification center at Auburn Middle School, 38 Falcon.
Steffi said he was locked up in a mental hospital over the summer for 2 weeks. What? Man. I saw the insurance comment why he was let go. It's here in America. It might have been the insurance. Wouldn't surprise me, y'all.
Drive. That's going to be a very important place tonight for a lot of these families and friends who don't have any answers. They haven't heard from, their father they tried to call, or their son they tried to call. And so that's a place where you can go to get some information. You can find out more information on a loved one. They also have a behavioral health liaison there, which is going to be very, very important moving forward.
Yeah, in the days and even weeks ahead, it is going to be a process for everyone to come to grips with this, especially those families who are directly impacted. We can't even imagine what they're going through tonight. Again, I do want to pull up this picture. This is the man police say they are looking for tonight. And that is the car they say they did find empty in Lisbon. If you know anything.
Steffi says, heard voices and threatened to pew the base and say, what the hell? Julie Doe said, yeah, the news said mental probs, ex-veteran firearms instructor. Well, that is a horrible combination, guys. That's a destructive combination right there. That's all bad. If that's true, you know what I mean? If that's all true, damn, that's crazy. Medicare for all in my opinion. Well, if it's true that he's a veteran, I'm not saying it's true or not. I'm just, that's what being speculated on. If he's a veteran, then he's getting help through the VA. And if, you know what I mean? So I don't know, man. I don't know. Don't really want to go into that because that's a whole nother conversation. But let's see. There's possibly another suspect also. No, they're saying it's just this guy. And there's only 2 places that he hit, and they were close enough together. And if if the rumors are true and he's an ex-veteran firearms instructor, then he would know how to use that weapon efficiently for mass destruction. It would only take one guy efficiently trained to do that, for sure. Let's see. Another channel plate scanner. Oh, I know. I gotta get a scanner set up, man. Army Reserve Station and any. Okay. See, we're getting some information from y'all. Are bringing in their information. Thank you, Steffi. Miss Dumpling, good to see you. This is unimaginable. I'm telling you, it's a crazy world. All over this world right now, bad stuff's happening. We're in an escalation, unfortunately.
About where Robert Card of Bowdoin is. He's 40 years old. You were asked to call police. They say you can just call 911 if you happen to see him tonight, because this is a manhunt at this point.
I see that fall. I'll be dialing 1911 if you know what I mean.
They
You know what I mean?
are the hundreds of officers from across the state and even New England coming in to try and track this man down. His picture right there on your screen. They are saying he is a person of interest in this case tonight.
And again, if you don't have to go to this reunification center in Auburn Middle School, please stay home. Stay where you are. Shelter in place is the message to everyone right now. But if you are very concerned about your loved ones, if you're maybe waiting outside of Central Maine Medical Center, again, the reunification center they're sending people to is at the Auburn Middle School on Falcon Drive. But again, if you don't have to be out, that's the big message from police is stay at home. Where even Bates College in Lewiston is on lockdown right now. They're telling their students to stay put.
Right, and we're getting a number of schools announcing that they're canceling classes tomorrow. So we will try to get an updated list, but they seem to just be coming in more and more of schools in the greater Lewiston area saying, no, we're not going to bring kids in. It's just not the time for that. So families obviously check with your local school district. You probably receive.
Bro, this is kicking off. My kids ain't going to school. You don't even have to tell me the schools are shut down. Hell no.
The text message or email tonight, but there are other schools that we have received messages from. If you haven't heard from your school, like Bonnie Eagle, the superintendent's acknowledging that they are weighing the decision and will make a final announcement in the morning. But of course, understanding the gravity of the situation tonight.
This is video from earlier tonight outside of Spare Time Recreation, and yeah,
Yeah, Zircon, essentially, we have another manhunt on our hands. This one's a little bit more dangerous. A little bit more dangerous. Man with a weapon on the run and knows how to use it.
On that school subject, we keep talking about how much this impacts people all over the state. There are schools in Poland, Mechanic Falls, Bowdoin, Brunswick, that have closed. And the reason I said Bowdoin is because that's where Robert Card is from. That's what police are telling us. But we know Poland, Mechanic Falls, Brunswick, Gray, New Gloucester, they're not directly close to Lewiston, but they're closing tomorrow. So definitely keep in touch with your school. If you have not gotten the text, keep an eye out on any decisions made. And again, at Auburn Middle School, there will be a behavioral health liaison there tonight. We just heard Commissioner Michael Soschuk with Maine's Public Safety Department talk about how this is still a very fluid situation, still very active scenes all over Lewiston that we're hearing from our
This stuff give me anxiety just looking at this footage, y'all.
reporters, and still a very active scene in Lisbon Falls where our reporter Hannah Cum.
Let's go ahead and
at least that's what we just heard from Michael Soschuk. So we did see, like you said, in the background of Hannah's live shot, we saw a lot of cars moving around back there.
Steffi, you said they found the car? What news station's reporting that?
So hopefully people are getting the message to get home and lock the doors and stay safe.
Yeah, and Commissioner Soschuk earlier, didn't share some firm numbers, did share information about just the sheer response here that we're talking about. Obviously, you've seen the images of the police cars and whatnot swarming the scene. But in this case, he's talking about hundreds of police officers, law enforcement officers from Lewiston, from the county, from the state, from across New England, even the ATF, FBI, from the Boston.
Agenda Free TV news channel here on YouTube. Gotcha. I got you.
Bureau, other federal agencies getting involved in this search at this point, because as it drags on, it gets harder and harder for them to track down the person. But of course, it's a numbers game. So they're saying if we can get enough feet on the ground looking for him, hopefully they can track him down, which is why they need your help.
Okay, let me put this information thing up here.
Give me one in chat if y'all can hear that.
So you guys can get caught up.
We're back in New Gloucester Station.
Okay, let me just try to get you some more information. We have the scanners on. He is still on the loose. He is believed to have a night scope on the gun, according to the scanner.
That is not good, y'all. This is like a bad situation, y'all. Real bad situation. We have a trained individual with weaponry that he could do some serious damage with. Step V, thank you for the one. I appreciate that.
Let me say a quick thanks to our
Jim B, thank you.
moderators while I have a chance. By the way, this place that's the location in Lisbon where the guy's car was found. This boat launch. There's the guy.
Will he? All right. He will? All right, man. Well, Stoney's recommending I don't play this dude's stuff. So if one of you all want to keep us updated, if you hear something on that end, I don't want to play somebody that's going to hit me.
Is how quickly it is, how easy it is rather to get to more rural areas. If you happen to see him anywhere in the greater Lewiston area or beyond, police really ask you give them a call. You can do so anonymously.
Good looking out, Stoney. Good looking out.
Honestly, whatever you need to do to get information to police so they can track this man down tonight.
Which that in itself, that number too, is that's a huge number. Hundreds of police in Maine right now searching for Robert Card, the 40-year-old person of interest from Bowdoin. They found his car in Lisbon. Hundreds of police. It's an astounding number. You think about the number of agencies that would have to be responding to this here in Maine. A lot of response here.
Yeah, we haven't seen something of this magnitude, a manhunt like this, since perhaps the murder and death of Corporal Cole in Somerset County that had agencies from across the state and country come in, of course.
That's crazy. He's a big-ass channel. Why can't he strike a little channel? Just giving them extra, flow out there to people that might not watch. That's jacked up. That's why I like JLR. He lets you restream his stuff.
That was a horrific time for our state, and this is yet another on just a whole another scale. And speaking of that,
you got two of your buddies? Yo, that's dirty, man.
Been trying to kind of keep in touch tonight with each other about that this is real, that we are human, we're experiencing this with you, and we can't even begin to imagine what folks in Lewiston are going through tonight. All of those people who are gathered outside of Central Maine Medical Center, waiting for the news about their loved ones. I think we even have some sound on that from someone at Central Maine Medical Center earlier.
Yeah, Jim B, when I seen the first clip of him, first of all, before I even seen him, I told my mom, I was like, he's probably a crazy white dude. I mean, come on. He's probably a crazy white dude, right? And he looks like a crazy white dude to me.
Who was just waiting to hear the news about their loved one. All right, it looks like we don't have that, but we do have Hannah Kumler back. She is live in Lisbon. Hannah, has the situation changed there? It looks like there may not be as many cruisers behind you.
Actually, there's probably the same amount. It's kind of a little bit deceiving because it's so dark behind me, but that's because their headlights and their lights on top of their vehicles are off right now. So there is still a very strong presence. We've had cars moving around us this entire time, kind of patrolling the area. We're still in front of Lisbon High School. Once again, we moved from across the street. Here's a cruiser coming by right now.
What? Back row Becky, that dude don't allow jokes in his chat? What kind of nonsense is it? Dude, this is YouTube, bro. Take that shit to Patreon. No jokes in your chat. Sounds like Greg Hughes, man. All uptight. I can't do that, y'all.
So you can see that it is active. The chopper is still
crazy white dude
in the sky. If we do happen to get a shot of it, we'll of course show you. We were across the street earlier when an officer approached us and let us know that, hey, it's not safe right here, and I wouldn't be here if I were you, sort of thing. So we got in our car and we came a little bit further away. And then once the shelter in place was put in place, Sam and I were in.
All that just what happened right there, where I've just tried to use somebody's stream that's going to strike me because they had a scanner going. What that's going to make me do now is when we get off this live, so at some point, I don't know, maybe not after this live, I got to go to bed for work, but or for class, I should say. I'm gonna have to get the scanner stuff down so we can get some scanners popping off and stuff like this happens.
In the vehicle and are just hopping out, excuse me, to just kind of update you on the scene here. I heard you earlier, Zach, and Amanda mentioned that Lisbon Street is shut down, but you're still seeing cars moving about.
That's the reason too. I can't follow. Some of these guys are great creators, right? Good channels, but I can't follow them, dude, because they're too damn dry, man. I can't do it. I gotta have some levity into it. You know what I mean? We gotta have some jokes. Be human.
This just blocked off right here. So this is like if you were to be going from Lisbon Falls into Lisbon Center. cars are not being let through here. We've seen several cars either turn around, or if they live past this block where that cruiser is sitting, then they're allowed to go through. But police are checking every car that goes that way, and some are turning around in the gas station and heading back. So for those familiar with this area, we're at Lisbon High School, which has announced that they are closed tomorrow, as so many other schools are in the state of Maine because of this horrible incident. And also, we're right in the Route 196 junction. So that is Ridge Road and Lisbon Street. Where there seems to be a lot of officers gathering, a lot of activity, is at the base of Frost Hill Ave. Now, at the end of that street is a boat launch on the Androscoggin River. That's where we've heard a lot of, there might be something happening there. We attempted to go down to the boat launch, but we're turned around. So they have blocked off that road after our attempt, shortly after. And it seems like the chopper that's circling has a spotlight that is, I think, both land, I'm not entirely sure, but the Androscoggin River is behind us, and that is where we first saw the chopper. So not entirely sure what is happening, but we just know that it remains active here in Lisbon Falls.
But Hannah, it looks like earlier we were noticing there was some traffic flowing through the area that's died down, probably likely because it's late. But
Right.
You've noticed fewer and fewer people on the road since that shelter-in-place order has been
Y'all think they're gonna get him tonight? Let me drop a poll.
put in place.
I think so, yeah. I mean, for instance, right now, 2 cars are pulling up, and we'll see what happens to them if they get turned around or they're let through. But I think just not kind of a quiet area anyways. If the most action is happening, it's going to be at this junction. But I do think that it's gotten quieter, whether that's a shelter in place or just because the night is winding down. I'm not sure. But I think word's gotten around, as we've seen on social media, that there's a lot of commotion happening down here at Lisbon Falls, and that people are instructed to stay in their homes. We're looking at something happening right now at the mobile station across the street. It looks like several vehicles are pulling into this parking lot, which has kind of been an area where a lot of law enforcement are gathering. But you're looking at it right now. We have about 5 or 6 vehicles that just pulled in. I will say almost all of the officers that we've seen here tonight are armed with large guns, not what we're used to seeing, certainly what Lisbon Falls is not used to seeing. You can see this is Lisbon Street that you're looking at, a car maybe turning around here at the gas station. It's just a familiar sight, kind of what we've been dealing with tonight. So yeah, we'll continue to keep you updated. Not entirely sure what's happening, only can say that an officer did approach us and said that they were working a scene about a half mile away. And that's when they instructed us to get some distance from where they were at, just for safety reasons. So.
Yeah, and Hannah, by looking at those cars that we just saw in that shot there, it looked like they are unmarked police vehicles of some kind. Just looking at like those vehicles pulling into the gas station there. Obviously, we don't know if something's happening at the gas station, or if maybe it's kind of more of a staging area just because it's the outside edge of.
Oh snap! Okay, we got a whole 7 boats, but more of you don't. So more of you don't think they're going to catch them. So majority thinks they're not going to catch them tonight.
The area they've closed off. But Hannah, thanks so much.
We've had multiple staging areas. The Colisée in Lewiston. There were certain streets in Lewiston. We've seen them stage outside of Central Maine Medical Center. Obviously, they were staged outside of Spare Time for a while, and Schmeggy's as well. And again,
I hope they catch them with the magical 223. Number, if you know what I mean.
This speaks to that large police presence. This is something that's kind of pulled all hands on deck at this point. Commissioner Michael Shostak saying hundreds of police officers are involved in this search for 40-year-old Robert Card. He is the person of interest. He is the person that police are looking for.
Yeah, and not just hundreds of officers working tonight. We have a lot of healthcare professionals responding in this situation. News Center Maine's Jack Molmid.
Prayers for all those first responders out there and everybody looking for this psychopath. Well, and obviously prayers to all the victims and their family. But man, we got some medical people out there doing hard work, and we got law enforcement doing some seriously dangerous work right now, y'all. Prayers to these people.
Has been outside Central Maine Medical Center throughout the evening. And earlier, Jack, there were a number of family members or
Miss Kathy Blanks, good to see you, ma'am. Thank you for being here.
Friends outside of the hospital there, kind of waiting for information. They've since announced a staging area for them to go, but are there still folks there?
Hey, Zach and Amanda. There's barely anybody really trickling in and out here at the Central Maine Medical Center, right where we've been for the last 2 hours or so. But like you said earlier, about 2 hours ago, there were dozens of family members, parents, people lining up to give their information to people working here at the hospital about their loved one, to see if their loved one was involved or hurt or injured or died in any of these shootings. We spoke with people who were just confused and frustrated over what was happening here too. But over the past 2 hours, it's really just been a slow trickle of people in and out of here. Obviously, people walking inside were affected by this in some capacity. Either they have a loved one who was being treated here at the Central Maine Medical Center, or they have a loved one, unfortunately, who passed away. Again, it was 22 people killed here in Lewiston this evening. 22 people in Lewiston. And like we've been saying, it's not just a Lewiston event that's happened. This is a Maine.
Does anybody know what scanners those people are using? Are they using, is there a channel on YouTube that does scanners that like you can use, or is that like an app, like, or is it a website somewhere? Somebody fill me in on what scanners they're using and how to use it, because I need to set that up for this channel.
Issue. This is a nationwide issue, that a tragedy that we've seen here. 22 lives taken, and there's been armed guards, armed law enforcement members here as well, most of the time, keeping watch. We were actually on the main street here, and had those armed guards tell us to get down to the rampway here, so that we could stay away from the main road while they continue to search for that suspect that we've been talking about for so long. And if we could pan a little bit to my left here, we could see
Broadcast. Thank you guys. I'll check that out. I'm gonna have to look into that and get that set up.
that's where the main entrance is of the center. And I don't know where the camera is right now, but you could, if you look carefully, you can see some of those armed guards walking around, kind of making sure that people who have had family who have been impacted can come and go safely.
Okay.
So that they can come and go safely, because we still have somebody at large here in our community in Maine, who police believe shot and killed 22 people here. And as you heard Commissioner Soschuk say, hundreds of police officers, quite a few of them here, making sure that those people who have loved ones impacted this can safely enter. One of those loved ones we did talk to, her name is Julie. She said she moved here to Lewiston when she was 17 or 18 years old. You know, we say this a lot, that we don't think it can happen here, but the way she said it, just especially coming from a mother who tells me that she doesn't know if her son, who was involved at Shemengi's bar, she got the call that he was shot there. She doesn't know if he's alive or dead. Last we spoke to her, she still doesn't know. She voiced her frustration over it. Take a listen to what she had to say here.
I'm a little freaked out. I want to know. You know what I mean? He's a young man. They shouldn't leave us hanging like this. Just tell us. I feel so bad for his wife. I mean, my kid, I don't know what's going on with him.
They told us that this is an active scene, and they're currently looking into that right now. And so as we stand here, there still is that active shelter-in-place order that is happening, not only in Lewiston, but in Lisbon as well, as Commissioner Soschuk said in his press conference. But as we stand here, just know that there is that shelter-in-place going on. So do not leave your house, lock your doors, try not to leave your house at all. And as we've been saying all night, there is going to be a relocation area. I believe that's in Auburn. I believe you guys could talk a little bit more about that. But for now, we're standing here at the Central Maine Medical Center, the nearest hospital to where this awfully deadly shooting took place, where 22 people were killed here in Lewiston this evening. But for now, we're reporting live here in Lewiston.
Jack Monwood, live for us again in Lewiston tonight, multiple times with the updates. We appreciate that, Jack. And as we cross into a new day now, Thursday morning, thanks for staying with us.
Yeah, and we heard Jack reference the Commissioner, Mike Soschuk from State Police, who just spoke recently. Our Alex Haskell is standing by there live and just heard what the Commissioner had to say. Alex, you can bring us up to date.
Hi, guys. Yeah, well, just want to let you know right now we are in Auburn. We are at the middle school. I want to give you the
Rooster. What's up, brother? You up late, brother?
Address. It is 38 Falcon Drive, and we heard the Commissioner,
or it might be early there. I don't know. One of the two.
Talk about this location. This is where they have set up a reunification center. This is where anyone can come if you have questions, if you have concerns, if you can't find a loved one, or believed if a loved one, if a friend, family member was involved in tonight's yesterday's shooting. You know, this is the place to come. They have counselors on hand, and it is secure here. We was driving up the driveway here, and police stopped us, shined a flashlight in our car. So
Auntie Rose lives close to there. Yo, prayers for Auntie Rose.
So this is a safe place to be right now if you have concerns, if you have questions. Okay. And this news is just coming out as of a few minutes ago. So we're slowly seeing people arrive here on scene, either bringing their questions or their concerns. And we also want to mention, as I'm sure you have been hearing tonight, Lewiston isn't the only place to, stay inside, be safe. Also Lisbon, both stay inside in those locations. And again, this location in Auburn is safe with the police officers here. Now I want to toss to some sound that we heard from the Commissioner, just talking about, all the police that have been involved in this effort to keep everyone safe and find the suspect.
We have literally hundreds of police officers working around the state of Maine to investigate this case, to locate Mr. Card, who again is a person of interest and a person of interest only. And we'll continue to gather information so that we can bring the suspect to justice and ultimately seek prosecution down the road.
And again, some of those police officers here tonight, I will give you that address again, 38 Falcon Drive.
Trev? T-Rev or Trev? I always get those two confused. T-Rev, okay. Damn.
It's Auburn Middle School. This is a reunification center. If you have questions, concerns, looking for a loved one, this is the place to be. Brian and Lee, I'll toss things back to you.
All right, Alex, thank you very much. And Alex, standing by what he probably described as a reunification center. And for the woman that Jack spoke with and that we just saw, this kind of streamlines the process, if you will, to get the information to the people who are missing their loved ones, don't know if they're okay, have questions about getting status updates on them, and instead of trying to find all of the people, picking a central location, getting them there, and then there's one place for everybody to get the information that they need and they so desperately obviously deserve.
And certainly you imagine also helps the law enforcement side of getting the names of the people who need to be contacted and coordinated and all of that. We're talking about a lot of people tonight. 22 people is what NBC is reporting through Lewiston Police. But as we heard in the briefing that we were so anxiously waiting for a while from the Commissioner of Public Safety, not committing to a number at this point. Certainly can appreciate that perspective and can appreciate your perspective of wanting a number, needing some information to hold on to.
And at the same time, as a mayor, as somebody watching, I wanted to hear him say 22, right? Because I was hoping to hear something more definite, clearly understanding why the commissioner can't do that. So many things going on. First and foremost, they still don't have Robert.
Oh, come on, guys. Get it together. Get it together. Come on.
Without him. So there is that warning tonight.
And not just that, because if you didn't hear this earlier, Maine Medical Center, out of an abundance of caution, also on lockdown. If you're not a nurse or a doctor or a worker or a patient, you're not getting in. So the hospital has locked down as well to be safe, because we do not know where Robert Card is. He hasn't been caught yet. And therefore, safety has to be paramount here.
And, the question was asked during the briefing with Public Safety Commissioner, are there other shooters? Are there other people you're looking for? Wouldn't necessarily answer that question.
My computer's acting funny, guys. So if I cut out or something, you know why. Tech issues. And then we just had one of our subscribers send us, he sent us basically a website that I need to sign up for to get the scanner. So next live or next situation we have that pops off, I'll definitely have it ready. You know what I mean? I would try to get into it right now, but I have to set up an account to do it. And with the way my computer's acting right now, it's an older computer, I don't want to, lose what we got going on here.
Either simply saying that this person on your screen right now is their person of interest. These are the photos police released, however, of who they are now saying is Robert Card. That is the entryway of Spare Time Recreation, which is in Lewiston off Molson Way, just off Main Street. Multiple angles of him. You can see his face pretty clearly there. And then also sharing this would be the vehicle that we have to believe is the vehicle they found in Lisbon, because that's the one they told us they were looking for, that Subaru.
As we sit here at 12:09, the aftermath, if you will, of what tomorrow/today was going to look like. A lot of school cancellations, certainly in Androscoggin County. A lot of schools, whether they were directly affected or not, just out of respect, I guess, and safety, just they're not going to open.
Yo, Jim B, you ain't lying. Our boy was in a mood tonight. Oh man, he was cooking cabbage tonight for damn sure. It was something else.
Even outside of Androscoggin County, schools are not. Some schools are not opening tomorrow. That's already been announced, and I know there have been notifications from other schools as far away as South Portland, where they're keeping an eye on it, and they haven't decided yet if they're going to be open tomorrow. So a lot, I think, will certainly depend on, if and when Robert Card is caught, where his last known whereabouts might be. If he migrates to a different part of the state, then obviously that part of the state would be on high alert. So there's just a lot of unknowns, unfortunately. We like to speak in knowns here. This is our job is to speak in knowns, and we're being very careful to tell you what we actually know and not what we've heard and not what we've seen and not what we've read and not what our buddy's third cousin told.
Yeah, guys, if you guys can smash that like, we got 21 people here and we only got 13 likes right now. So if y'all can smash the like for the live coverage, you know what I mean? I'd appreciate it greatly. Thank you.
Thus, this is, the information superhighway can be super useful and very helpful and very important in situations like this. It could also be very detrimental. So I will caution you for the probably 10th time at this point to just be very careful. Everybody's interested in what's going on here. Everybody wants to know. Everybody cares. It all comes from a place of love. Nobody's trying to do, misspread information that's not correct, but be very careful.
Step V, Bees is probably He's just probably asleep because she had to wake up too early to watch my live this morning. So now she's probably exhausted.
With what you think you've seen or heard or know, and make sure that it is verified information, as Commissioner Sawchuk touched on earlier. That will make everybody's life a lot easier in keeping everybody as calm as possible in this very chaotic situation, tragic situation. The news is not good. There's nothing good to talk about here. And it's just, we need to keep as many people safe as we can, and we need to find Robert Card as soon as possible.
Another note on the school closings, and as you said, as those will likely increase as the morning wanes on here, our team is working diligently right now to compile all of the information we are getting to get it to you. And that includes the school closings, because that'll impact your world in the morning. So they are compiling a list of those closings.
Man, he knows what he was doing with that firearm, y'all. He knew what he was doing.
You can find them on the News Center Maine app. If you've lost track of who is and who's just looking at it, and as we get that confirmed, we'll have that.
This isn't like your average dude that snapped and and decided that they were gonna go do the pew pew. This dude right here is skilled. Like, it's a bad combination, man. Oh my Lord. And if this is a situation where it's a mental health situation and this dude is a veteran, damn, you know what I mean? That just goes to add to like how much our veterans aren't being helped. And I stand strong on that opinion. I know a lot of veterans that they struggle, man. They struggle bad. And no excuse here, but we got a lot of broken things here in America.
That there as well.
Especially because we're reading to you in real time. So as soon as we hear it, we're just literally going in one and out the other. And it's not just schools. The Lewiston DMV will be closed tomorrow. They announced that a little over an hour ago. So that's not a school. That's that's a business. I'm assuming there'll be other businesses, certainly in the immediate Lewiston and Auburn areas that will follow suit in that regard.
That's what I'm hearing, Jim B, that he was a firearms instructor, and then like reserve or something like that, military. I don't know. It's just what I'm hearing. I have no definite answer on it.
So there's just a lot to keep track of, a lot of things you need to know. As soon as we know them to be true, we'll certainly pass them along and try to streamline it as well as possible so that you have an easy way to disseminate all the information that we're throwing at you.
So yeah, Stoney's saying he's a firearms instructor. And Zircon, that's what you thought, way too calm. Yeah, like you could tell by the way that he's walking, he's holding that firearm, and how he's looking ahead as he's walking. This dude knows how to use that thing. So really bad situation, y'all. Really, really bad.
In real time here, our reporters are scattered all over the place, giving us their information in real time as well. So we are we're doing our jobs, and which is to keep you informed, and hopefully in turn keep you safe, and hopefully in turn help the police find Robert Card.
On the note of changing information and impacts to what would have been normal life tomorrow, St. Mary's Health System saying all elective procedures and surgeries scheduled for the morning have now been canceled. All their practices are closed, and they will be reaching out if you had some.
See, Jim B, the only problem with the mental health situation in our country is not just that the care that we don't have, but it's actually the causes of the mental health issues themselves that we don't want to deal with, we don't want to talk about. So there's a reason why you see so much more of this right now. It's a society issue, and most people don't want to get down to the actual societal issues that cause this stuff. They just want to talk about how we have a lack of mental health care, which I agree, we do have a lack of mental health care, but society's causing this, and we don't want to talk about the real problems of society that is causing this. It's sad.
Things scheduled to reschedule that. So again, an emphasis on their resources and their energy needs to be on these things and caring for these patients.
You and I talked about this, and Commissioner Sawchuk touched on it as well. We keep showing you pictures of Robert Card, the person of interest here. We've been these are from surveillance cameras. They're in the area.
And that's why I'm saying also, you guys got to pray for this law enforcement, all these officers that are responding and trying to get this man, is they're going after somebody that could easily take them out, is not scared of them at all, and has the tactical skill set to do it. That's scary.
Either of Schmenges or of spare time. I'm not sure exactly where. Well, that's the bowling alley. So from there, so we're showing you these pictures so you can be aware. But the commissioner was very clear. We're not looking for anybody to go find him.
Yes, Tony, that's what I'm hearing reports. Is it's two different places. They might have been in a little bit of I don't know if they're how many miles apart. I don't know that part. You might be right on that. But I was hearing 2 different places that he hit.
We're not looking for people to be on the lookout for him because you're not supposed to be anywhere. This is just in case you happen to find yourself in a position where you do come across him or see something, or even the commissioner was very clear, if you see something that might be, you don't have to be definite about it. If you think might be, then you would share that. And
Zircon, that's a good possibility. We don't know what he had in that vehicle. We don't know what he has on him, y'all. So this man could be in possession of like armor-piercing rounds. He could be in possession of stuff that's extremely lethal, and he obviously has the skill set to use it. So our law enforcement that's out there right now, man, they need all of the prayers, and yeah, they need everything on their side right now.
That way, that might help close the gap here.
See you later says 3 places. I've heard 2. Some people are telling me 3. I don't know, but it could be either one. Either way, it's 22 innocent lives taken and 50 plus injured in the chaos. So, damn, that's what really matters right there, y'all.
On where he is and how to find him. But again, do not approach. He is considered, in the commissioner's words, to be armed and dangerous. And stay away if you do see him, but certainly pass it along to somebody who might be able to help.
Our Chris Costa has also been very busy with us in the newsroom tonight. He just spoke with a professor from Bates College, which...
See you later says 3 separate businesses: the Spare Time Recreation Bowling Alley, Schwinnigan's Bar, I don't know, Shemeggies, I don't know how to say that, yo, bar and grill restaurant and Walmart distribution center. A Walmart distribution center? Where did you get that at? See you later. Where'd you hear that news at? Like, I believe you. I'm not. I just want to be able to verify it. You know what I mean?
Obviously, is located in that community.
Because I'm going through this news station for the reports because they're more local. I was just feeling like that's probably our best, because we don't have JLR on the scene yet. So this is the best way to get our information, I believe.
Of Lewiston, who specializes in mass shootings and studying them. So we want to hear part of that conversation.
Sorry, I was wanting to ask as a human being. That's just, yeah. Are you, so do you want to tell me, so
Chris Marie, good to see you, man.
Were you on campus when any of these events happened?
No, I was off campus when I heard about the first reports that there was an active shooter in the...
Thank you. See you later. I'll have to check that out.
Lewiston area, and have been just monitoring the situation since.
How are you feeling right now?
I am feeling all of the things that people feel when their community has been attacked. I am somewhat in shock, even though we've been saying that these things can happen anywhere, and they often happen in smaller communities. And Maine has just been lucky.
No, Zircon, I was just saying he ain't there yet. I'm surprised he's not there yet. I mean, he'd probably be there by the morning time.
For the most part, to not have an attack like this. Of course, this is an attack on a scale that is shocking by any measure, but also concerned. I'm concerned about all of my students and my friends who work at Bates and in the community, and hoping that they are staying safe and that they are getting what they need. And again, this is unfolding right now. We don't know who the victims are, and so just kind of holding my breath at this point.
Professor, you find yourself in a very probably unique position where a large portion, the majority of your career has been dedicated to researching these exact types of incidents. What are you kind of coming to terms with now in your head, given all of the research you've done about mass shootings and one happening right in your own backyard?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot that goes through your head. Obviously, most people who are following the story have seen the pictures of the suspect with the weapon, and people will draw conclusions about the type of weapon without it being confirmed yet. So I don't want to comment on what type of weapon it was, but it sure looks like some sort of a rifle that can do a lot of damage. And we've done research on the types of guns that wind up causing the most casualties in these types of events. We know that there are certain types of laws that don't necessarily restrict people's freedoms.
Stony Stone says, me and my wife said he's going to go out with a fight the way that he walked into that building. So, matter of fact, just our opinion. I believe you. That's what I'm saying. Throw prayers up for them police officers, because when they find this dude, he ain't going to go quietly. I don't believe this ain't going to be like the young, mass shooters where, they do it. And then by the time police arrive, they like basically just give up. One of those situations. Now, this dude's going to fight. Kathy Blank says, artillery stash, surely hope not. I hope not either. It just depends on how much this dude planned before he did this, with his skill set and whatnot. I hope not.
But also can be helpful in preventing these types of attacks. And so the first, reaction, I think, is frustration, really. Frustration that we've been talking about this. We've been trying to put out information about what we know so far. And we know more and more every day.
I'll be seeing you guys talking crap in chat, all right? I'll be seeing it. Just because I don't post it up on the screen don't mean I don't see it, y'all. Okay, ladies, I see it.
About why these attacks happen, how these attacks happen, and what type of policies are seemingly effective. And it does not seem as if there's any traction to get anything done. The two opposing factions arguing past one another, and we find ourselves in a position where now we're attacked at our own home, and that feels personal. And so there's frustration, there's sadness, a little bit of anger as well.
All right, so we've heard from a lot of different organizations and school districts and places that are going to be providing support for people already outside of Androscoggin County. Obviously, in Androscoggin County, there are kids who this thing started, at 7 o'clock tonight. Kids are awake. Kids are awake still, and they're watching, and they're worried, and they don't know. And it's stuff that we talked about earlier that they've practiced just in case, and the just in case is now. So there are resources available. So if you're watching and whether you're directly or indirectly or not at all affected, other than being a Mainer, by what happened, there will be resources likely available to anybody who needs them. So please find them for yourself, for your children, for your loved ones, for anybody who might need one, okay? Sam Rogers is live in Lisbon. We're going to go check in with him. Hey, Sam.
If there's something crazy, just be like, turn on. Hey, Lee and Brian, apologies. We're just doing a quick little reset as Hannah Kumler and I have been on scene here by Lisbon High School for about an hour or so. Just want to get everyone up to speed with what we are seeing here. As you can see, cars are still traveling through Lisbon.
Oh, see you later. Yep.
Lisbon Street. Ridge Street was just reopened about a few minutes ago. We've been able to see police letting cars go this way off my left shoulder.
That doesn't surprise me, Julie Dope.
Again, Lisbon Street here in Lisbon Falls going towards Lisbon Center has been closed off. You can see an officer off my right shoulder has been turning drivers away. Again, since we've been here, keeping this area contained. I don't think you're able to hear it on my microphone, but again, a chopper and helicopter has been circling the Androscoggin River, looking for something, whether it's that person of interest. We did get here with the plan of going to a boat launch down
Jindy, both Jindy, both
Frost Hill Avenue. That's about half a mile, maybe closer to a mile in our east-southeast direction. We weren't able to get all the way down that way. Hannah Kumler behind me is seeing, it's going to be really tough to see, but that chopper is heading over our left shoulder. And before we even got here, we drove from Portland up to Sabattis, just trying to find anything related to this investigation. And we saw, as we got closer to Lewiston and Auburn, it seemed like almost every mile or two, a cruiser pulled off the side of the road near an exit, near a turnaround, with the spotlight facing onto the roadway, trying to find any vehicle that matched any description of that person of interest. Now, a few minutes ago, or longer than that, it seems, when the public safety commissioner was addressing the people of Maine, he said that this area where we are in has just been ordered as a shelter in place. And it's well after midnight at this point. Lisbon Falls, not exactly that busy, but we have seen a slight decrease in activity. Brian and Lee, we'll check back in with you in a few minutes.
Let's just hope they get a better perimeter where they think this guy might be than what they had with Cavalcante, because, man, this guy is on the loose for that long. Some people are in trouble.
All right, Sam.
Sam, thank you. We also want to go right now live to Jason Levesque, the mayor of Auburn, speaking with our crew there right now.
There's panic. Of course, there's worry, understandable. But the people that were actually there tonight was what I didn't hear. It's shocking. It's shocking. It's hard for me to explain. And I want them to be able to go home and hold
Y'all, that man shook right there.
their families and go to sleep and wake up and cope with it tomorrow.
By bus.
Say again?
Who is it that's arriving by bus?
So what we did is we took the witnesses of the two locations. We actually brought them to a holding area so we can interview them, clear them, and then we.
See you later says, wonder if he ditched the car and hopped a boat. If not, he put that thought out there. Yeah, because I heard they were looking down at like a boat dock area or something like that earlier. Possibly. They literally don't think he's in the state anymore, and they didn't know where he was even when they knew where he was, the old ladies. Yeah, that's so funny. I love that. Was a good one. That was a good comment.
We wanted to bring them all over here so they can have what we call a reunification process with their loved ones, which is the proper way to do it. We wanted to make sure that evidence could be gathered and the proper protocol could be followed.
Can you talk to us about the different ages of the witnesses? Were there kids that witnessed it?
Yes. It's all ages. It was all ages. I just talked to some teenagers, and it was all ages.
What can you say about the law enforcement officers working this very serious situation?
It's unbelievable. It's literally unbelievable. We have our entire force out here right now for the city of Auburn, plus Lewiston County, state. Everybody's here. That's one thing about Maine. If you're not from Maine, you won't understand it. But when someone's in need, everybody comes. Everybody has come to this. I've got Poland Volunteer Rescue in the back helping people in case they need it. I mean, this is an all hands on deck situation. You can train for this, but you can never be completely prepared. But I've been talking to a lot of our officers tonight, and that we all should be proud of them.
And that support from just beyond that region, beyond Maine.
Yeah, I mean, I've gotten a lot of them.
What do you guys think the odds are that JLR shows up in the next 12 hours? I'll put bets on that. I'll put money on that he shows up in the next 12 hours. Just saying.
Calls from around the country, text messages out from folks, and everybody knows about this. Obviously, it made national news. But at this point, we're going to really focus inside of our community. We're going to heal our community. We're going to persevere. We're going to get through this. And it's no time not to. So it will take a while. Something like this doesn't just get solved overnight. Nobody can expect it to. But we got a really strong community. We've overcome a lot, and we'll overcome this.
Jason, what's the scene like in there right now?
There?
Yeah.
Relief.
Zircon, JLR has powers. This dude, I think he has teleportation powers. I don't know how he gets around so quick, but I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised if he pops up on the scene. It's JLR live. I'm on the scene, and we're, you know what I mean? Like the whole night. Come on, you guys know the dude's crazy like that. I don't know. It just wouldn't surprise me. That's all I'm saying.
It's really relief. If you think about it, I mean, this is a happier place right now in the entire area. This is a reunification center where people, witnesses saw traumatic events are coming together with their family and loved ones who were worried to death about them. And they're coming together. So it is happy. But on the flip side of the happiness, what you're seeing is the turmoil.
Ty, good to see you. Thank you for dropping in.
And the trauma that they're going through, especially the witnesses. And that, unless you've been there, you can't really understand. You can't really describe, frankly, other than you can feel empathy for them. And that's what we're going to try to do here.
Where were
I ain't gonna lie, dude. I'm jealous of the man. He's obviously set himself up in life. I know that he has like investments where he can do this travel and cover these cases this way. And then obviously at this point now his channel is big enough where he's probably getting enough, help, monetary help to do this. But dude, I'm jealous. If I could do what he's doing, JLR was doing, oh, your boy would be on the scene all the damn time for sure. For sure.
the witnesses between the events and now?
They're at an undisclosed location, centralized, safe location. We brought them there, and obviously police did too as we're clearing the scene. It's going to be a long process to clear the scenes. But then, we brought them. Once everything was settled, we can bring them back here safely. And obviously all the statements were taken and so forth. That needs to happen. So, investigation is investigation, and that's a paramount importance at this time.
Mayor, forgive me for asking, in other
mass shooting incidents in other parts of the country, the reunification point has sometimes been a moment where a loved one comes to the tragic realization that their relative didn't make it.
Yes.
Have any of those interactions taken place here tonight?
Yes. I'll just leave it at that.
What sort of a process have the hospital workers been working to connect more and more people?
I haven't talked with the hospital.
All right, as of right now, our poll, do you think they'll find the shooter tonight? 43% say yes, and 57% say no. That's where you guys are at on the poll right now. If you haven't hit the poll up, hit the poll up, y'all.
Directors, our emergency room staff, they're extremely busy, and we all need to respect that. They are working with known victims right now, whether it be casualties or fatalities, and they're going to work through that process with the appropriate guidance, mental health support networks that we have. We actually have trained professionals here from the state police as well as local churches that are trained in crisis response that are actually helping people through this.
How long can we expect the center to be open?
Until it's done. Anything else? Okay. No.
Thanks very much.
All right, that's the mayor of Auburn, Jason Levesque, standing by at the Reunification Center, which is at Auburn Middle School. As the mayor talked about, some of those reunifications, good, family members not knowing where their loved ones were, getting to see them. And the mayor also...
Yo, see you later says he's hiding in a creek bed covered in mud. Straight up Rambo style. Or Arnold Schwarzenegger in The Predator, right? Where he's all covered in mud. Wild.
Really open and honest about the fact that not every one of those situations ended well, and sometimes people went there hoping for good news and they didn't.
Sircon says I was wrong about the last manhunt. I was pretty on point with that last manhunt. They got him faster than I thought they were going to get him, to be honest, but everything else I think I was pretty fairly on point on. Maria hears you. Good to see you. Good to see you, Maria. Is this your first time here? I don't think I've seen you here. Welcome in. Thank you for being here.
Didn't get it. So it's just a tragic situation that the mayor of Auburn was just speaking about.
We want to bring in Greg Marley from NAMI, Maine. Thank you, first of all, for coming to our studio in the middle of the night. I'm sure you have been pretty plugged into everything that's been going on.
Not nearly enough, but trying to catch up as everyone is in this shocking news.
We all are.
Yeah.
At this point, we are, as Lee said, 5 or so hours into.
You try to keep the vibes good over here for sure. For sure.
This at this point. This is raw. This is fresh.
Oh,
there are people.
Snap. Wait up. Just change name for 2 weeks. What? So you're good vibes? Say what? Okay.
Who are just discovering what has happened here. What is step one for walking into this day?
Step one is if you're in a place that's safe and your family's safe, reassure yourself, breathe, kind of get your emotions under control so you can support your family, support your children. If you're one of the people that has those questions, is my family safe? Are my friends safe? Try and breathe and know what you can get answered tonight.
I'm not sure. See you later. I'm surprised that Stony Stone don't know that though. I think by now he would have that figured out. This man knows everything.
Going to be frantic, but this is going to be a long, long process. So take care of yourself, take care of the people you're with, reach out, and try not to be alone. This is a time to be with people who love you, to hold each other close.
Greg, we talked about this a little bit. There's never a good time for something like this to happen, but it happened at about 7 o'clock. Not a lot of kids had gone.
Hater, good to see you. Thank you for being here during this live coverage.
Gone to bed yet. A lot of kids are, through no fault of their own, they're surrounded by all this news, and their families and their parents or siblings reacting to this news. So a lot of parents are still awake watching, and maybe a lot of kids as well that have a million questions. This is the stuff they've practiced for just in case, and our just in cases now. How do you handle this with your children? I know a lot of parents would love to know, what do I say? Whether they're
update. We have a 40-year-old white psychopath with firearms experience, training, like instructor, and supposed to be ex-veteran. And he's gone into 3 different locations, and he's unalived 22 different people and at least 50 plus injured. That is the update.
They're in Androscoggin County, or they're in Cumberland or Aroostook County.
Yes.
He's still on the loose, and he has the firepower and the skill set that when he engages law enforcement, it could be bad for law enforcement. So this is a bad situation all the way around. It's supposed to be a mental health situation. The dude had been locked up in a mental health ward for like 2 weeks or something like that, we're hearing, and was let out after saying that he heard voices and was gonna pew people.
I think the big piece is, if you're a parent, if you've got the news, try not to get that news repeated every 5 minutes, so you're not re-triggering your children. So let them know.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
No, then speak simply and directly about what happened. Reassure them that they're safe, that your family's safe, and then slowly allow them to ask questions, answer what you can. And there's a lot of things we don't know yet, and be okay saying we don't know yet, and we may not know until tomorrow. So that they can begin to settle into a routine and maybe get some sleep tonight. And maybe you can get some sleep tonight as well. Mom, Dad, yeah.
Yes, because we will all need it. Yes, to process the rest. A few minutes ago, Chris Costa spoke with a professor who studies mass shootings and kind of the data that we've learned over the years from those. His words were, there's a frustration tonight for certainly people in his world that study that data. My word is, I feel like our state was violated tonight because there is such a feeling of it hasn't happened here. We haven't had to deal with this. Yeah. How do we square that reality from it's always been somewhere else? Now this is my neighborhood.
Well, I think in a lot of situations, people have been waiting for this shoe to drop because we see the headlines from across the country, and Maine has been somewhat insulated. And tragically, that ended tonight. And it's that acceptance, that reality that this is a state where violent crime happens as well, a mass shooting.
I don't know about this guy that's speaking right now. There's just something about him's a little off. I don't know what it is. No hate, but I don't know.
And it's going to retool our whole perception for a while.
We do have a follow-up question to our students and our children. You and I have had conversations in the past, actually about a year ago, of a hoax situation. And part of that conversation was, gauge your child, maybe allow them to lead the conversation if they're showing interest. Is this different though? Because it's here. Should you as a parent be initiating the conversation?
I think you need to let your children know in a really basic language what happened, so that they're not hearing it from someone else, outside of your control. Choose a time, get them settled. If you can wait and do it tomorrow morning and after they've gotten sleep, definitely do that. But then be ready for questions. Be ready for their questions.
Right, Gator Hater? He is off like strange, but I don't know if the dude's just sleepy, if he's medicated, or what's going on here. But I don't know, y'all.
Depending upon their age, younger kids are going to want to know.
Actually, I'm going to skip back. I'm going to catch us back up to the live section. This guy's killing me.
Safe?
Waiting in line, waiting to see if their family members survived or not after getting a call that their family member may have been a victim in that shooting. So they made their way here to give the name of their loved one who may have been involved in that shooting that we've been talking.
Thank you for smashing that button.
About for so long here, that tragic shooting that NBC is reporting took the lives of 15 to 20 people and ultimately injured around 50 people. And we saw people line up at Central Maine Medical Center here.
Yes, Tony, I saw that one too. I'm told you guys 2024 is going to be crazy because 2023 is ending up it's accelerating, y'all.
To give the names of their loved ones. Many of them stuck around to listen to it. Others kind of just went about their evening to really just kind of digest what happened here. I think a lot of us here in Maine and in the state, even in this region, are just really working to digest really what happened here. But if you want to take a look now at the front of the hospital here, if you look to my left here, you could see that front entrance to the main Central Maine Hospital. Since all those people entered the names of their loved ones, many of them have left, but armed security guards,
Julie Delp, were you hearing that information on that one? Cite the source, young lady. Cite your source.
Reserve Patrol, Maine State police officers have been there, making sure people can enter, come and go as they please. Obviously, the people who are walking through, many of them family members of those who may have lost their lives or may have been injured in this shooting that with the suspects.
Shit, that ain't no joke, Stoney. That is no joke right there. There ain't enough money in the world to be able to make a movie even close to the time we're living in right now. That is no joke.
At large, a little bit of info about that suspect. We are hearing that, his name is Robert Card. AP, Associated Press, is reporting that he was trained as a firearms instructor, trained by the military. He was recently committed to a mental health facility, according to a state police bulletin. The police intelligence bulletin of the Associated Press says was sent around to different law enforcement officials on Wednesday night after that shooting that we've been talking about here that claimed the lives, as NBC reports, from about 15 to 20 different people. Now, at the end of the day,
Fox News Live, yeah, we can't use them. I can't. They'll flag us, tag us. I don't need none of that bad stuff.
where we've been standing here at the hospital, we've just been hearing just horrific stories of people who are just trying to understand the severe loss that's happened here today, including one woman. Her name is Julie. We spoke to her. She moved to Lewiston here when she was 17 or 18 years old. She found out
Y'all, we got like 26 people in here, and I only got like 15, 16 likes or something like that. Come on, y'all. What y'all doing? Smash the button.
His son was shot at the...
Stop the show. Miss Sassy Seven's here. Don't make her tell y'all. Tell him, Sassy. Tell him to smash them buttons, y'all. Good to see you, man. Thank you for being here.
Met Schmeggy's bar here in Lewiston earlier. And so she got the call. She rushed over to the hospital. She really doesn't know the status of him at this time. She's still left without any answer. Let's take a listen to what she had to say about her frustration over this all.
My ex-husband and my son were playing pool, and next thing I know, I saw on Facebook that there was a shooting at Schmeggy's where they were playing, and then nobody...
Sassy, we have a active shooter situation where a gentleman walked into three different locations, unalived 22 people at this point is what we heard last. We have 50 plus injured in the chaos. He's ex-veteran firearms instructor, and he's on the run. So that's what we know so far, essentially. Oh, and he was locked up a little bit for some mental health as well for like 2 weeks recently, talking about hearing voices, wanting to pew people, but they let him out. So, that was a good idea.
Nobody would tell us anything. Just go to CMMC. His wife, his son, my ex-husband are here. Friends are here. We're all waiting, and we've heard nothing. They won't tell us if he's alive, if he's in critical condition, if he's passed. They won't tell us anything.
They told us that this is an active scene, and they're currently looking into that. And so you can really see the frustration there on Julie's part, and she's not alone. Many of the family members just waiting now to see if their loved one has made it or not after this horrific tragedy that took place here in Lewiston, not only shaking up Lewiston, but the state and the region as well. National headlines pouring through about what's happened here. Now, as I speak, there is an ongoing lockdown to track down this active situation, the active shooter situation of them trying to track down that suspect, person of interest, they're saying, who is Robert Card, age 40 years old.
JB, that's what they were saying on the news earlier when we were watching it. It said all ages. All ages. They're reporting all ages got, you know what I mean? He hit people of all ages. Heartbreaking.
They're saying he's still on the loose. They're still trying to track him down. So there's a shelter in place here in Lewiston, as well as Lisbon. The law enforcement advises that people in those areas stay inside, lock your door.
Oh, yeah. If I was that lady, there's no way. If I was a person in that family, there's no way they could interview me right now. I'd be a damn mess.
Don't go outside. Don't travel for any unnecessary reasons, and just be on the lookout. But for now, we're here at the Central Maine Medical Center, the closest hospital to where those shootings took place, at the bar, at the bowling alley, and where police are staging just down the road to go and look for this suspect. We'll toss it back to you guys.
Jack Moment at Central Maine Medical Center in Lewiston tonight. Jack, our thanks to you. And, Jack's seen a variety of scenes tonight and has walked us through it. When he first arrived in Lewiston, he went directly to Spare Time Recreation, the bowling alley, where the shooting happened, and was met by law enforcement with guns, and they told him to go away. And we've seen some viewer video that we received of people running out of that bowling alley tonight after the gunshots there. And Jack then moved to the hospital where he has seen so many people.
Sure. Yeah, and those images that you see, and you saw about the people running away, and we want to be clear on the 50 people, 50, that have reportedly, according to NBC, been injured in this. Not all of them direct results of gunshots. A lot of them possibly from trying to get out of the situations they were in, because you hear gunshots, you run, and a lot of people possibly injured that way as well. But 50
getting away.
People injured. We saw a video of all the people scattering in a hurry. So There will be, we've talked about some of the things that will and won't be happening tomorrow besides schools because of this situation. There'll be no public bus transportation in Lewiston tomorrow. So Lewiston has announced that there will be no public busing tomorrow in that area. So, and the Secretary of State's office has put on social media that their hearts are with the city of Lewiston tonight.
Yeah, we heard from Representative Adam Lee in Auburn tonight saying a similar thing. So he's right in that community saying, you know, he and his family are sheltered in place. They're safe and encouraging others, as we've heard so much tonight, to hug your loved ones and be thankful for what you have tonight and thankful for our law enforcement and our hospital staff who we know are working diligently to save lives, likely right now, from what happened tonight. So again, there's a lot of unknowns. There continues to be, even after the briefing from the commissioner. Still a lot of questions. Again,
Let's see, Miss Julie Duck says, all right, I'm hitting the sack. United, I'll stay on it, and I expect a full report in the morning. I'm not going to be able to stay up too much longer, Miss Julie Duck. I'm going to end up being right behind you. I got to be able to wake up in the morning to do another live. So, yeah, I'm not going to be on too much longer myself. But good night to you, Mom. Sweet dreams. Love you. Let's see. Jim B says Lewiston, Maine. All right, let's keep on. Come on, man. Come on, equipment. What are we doing here?
About what happened, the biggest thing at this hour, and likely the cause of why we're seeing so many things being canceled tomorrow, is because Robert Card is on loose, and there's still an ongoing hunt, at least in Lewiston, Auburn, and Lisbon as well, we know, and likely further than that for him at this hour. So his photo's on your screen, and that's kind of the big message at this hour of this person is still out there.
Yep, and there was a large police presence. We showed you earlier. Hannah Cumler, Sam Rogers were in Lisbon at a boat launch on Frost Hill Road. The car that Robert Card was reportedly traveling in was a white Subaru. They did find the car. He was not with the car. So the search continues. And that chatter, if you will, of might be headed in an accident, that has been fairly quiet. So the search is obviously still on. If you do see him, to echo the words of Commissioner Soschuk, do not approach. Mr. Card is deemed to be armed and dangerous as right now specifically called a person of interest. They were very deliberate with the words there.
They were.
And so they do not approach him. You're not asked to do that. If you see.
All right, guys, so far we got 19 votes on the poll. 58% of you now think that they will catch them tonight, and only 42% of you say no, they won't catch them. Just had to update y'all in case you didn't see it, you know.
See something, even if you see somebody who might be that person, to please reach out to law enforcement. And certainly better to be safe than sorry. And then the commissioner also talking about the reunification center that's happening at the Auburn Middle School, which is such an important piece of this puzzle for so many people that have so many questions that are looking for answers.
Yeah. And that's the big thing, is trying to get answers for so many families at this point. Alex Haskell has relocated tonight to the reunification center at Auburn Middle School, joining us now live with what's going on there. Hi, Alex.
Hi, Brian and Lee. We've really seen things pick up here at the Auburn Middle School. A lot of families getting help and news, good and bad. We chatted with the mayor of Auburn here not too long ago. I think many of you probably saw that interview. Just wanted to share some of the things that he said to us. You know, dozens of witnesses of the shooting were brought here, and they varied in ages, the youngest being teenagers. And, you know, he said, you know, a lot of people have been able to get help here, but also receive some, you know, the most terrible news possible in all of this. Some people were here when they found out that they lost loved ones in this. And, you know, I've been chatting with people as they come out of this center. I just chatted with Lind, who came here looking for her husband, and she just walked out and found him. So some good news here tonight in Auburn.
Love you, Mom.
I just want to make sure, going through my notes, making sure I'm not missing anything that we can share with you. Obviously, we've been talking about how this center, or this middle school, is a reunification center. This is the place to come if you are looking for a loved one, if you have questions, if you have concerns. This is the place to be, and it is safe. We see many police officers here. They're walking with folks to and from the
And Sassy says, this is happening way too much. Innocent people dying. How do we stop this? People don't want to have those conversations, Miss Sassy. People don't want to have those real conversations because it's complicated. It's one of those rumble conversations, you know what I mean? Jimby says, Kathy, I can't remember whereabouts Rose lives. Do you know? This is down close-ish to Port. I mean, that's not a big state. You know what I mean? Like, she could probably live pretty close to where this is going on. I'm surprised she's not live, honestly. I figured, she would be live on this. I know she's not like hardcore true crime, but, it popping off in Maine, you would think she would be on it.
Building. They're checking cars as they come in. So a very safe place to be. But we will keep an eye out here as folks continue to get help. We have mentioned counselors are here too for folks to speak with. Lee and Brian, I'll toss things back to you.
All right, Alex, thank you. And I just, I can't imagine what Alex is seeing. Yeah,
right.
like that's hard, obviously, for the people who are going there to get their questions answered, for the people who have to answer those questions,
Right.
And then to watch that and to see either the elation of the reunification or maybe the not. And it's just brutal.
Yeah, and I think we saw it on the mayor's face. We heard from
She may have taken a nap hoping to catch Dolly later. That's a possibility. It's a possibility.
Mayor Levesque a few minutes ago and was asked, are both sides of that conversation happening for people who are showing up? And I think you saw it all over his face of how brutal and painful it is to see those horrible conversations unfolding of people who showed up there hoping to find their loved one and getting horrible news tonight.
Yeah, the news is bad all the way around. We're not going anywhere. So
You could tell these dudes are gassed, though. You could tell they're tired, but they're thugging it out on pure adrenaline probably at this point.
we're here around the clock, and we're going to get this thing hopefully resolved sooner than later for everybody's sake, and just to give a little peace of mind that the person of interest that they're looking for, at least right now, Robert Card, does get found. Just to look at him one more time again, you really shouldn't be out and about, but if you do happen to, be someplace where you see somebody who resembles that, you're asked to certainly contact your local authorities wherever you might be at that time. And again, do not approach as he's considered to be armed and dangerous, and is the person of interest, or at least a person of interest, in what has happened tonight. And just a tragic night for the state of Maine, for all of us who are from here or not from here. You don't have to be a Mainer to feel for the loss that our state is feeling tonight, and certainly the empathy that we have for all the people going through everything they're going through, and everybody in the state is going through this. Some, maybe at a more severe level than others, but there's nobody that is not affected by this, that doesn't, view Maine the way that we view Maine, being the born and breeders. I think our state is held in a regard that this isn't the kind of a place where this thing wouldn't happen. And, that has been kind of our, we've been sure we can practice for it and we can train for it and we can make sure that we're ready just in case, but, it's not going to happen here. And, it's awful. There's no appropriate words to label exactly just how awful this is that this has happened.
Dude, you can tell even the newscasters are traumatized on this, like the local newscasters, because that's what we're watching, local news, right? That way we can hopefully hear stuff quicker. I don't know if that's going to happen, but you can tell these boys are shook, man.
In our state.
And we also recognize these photos you're looking at right here were released from, as you see, the Androscoggin County Sheriff's Office and Lewiston Police as well. They wanted us to share these pictures with you of a moment they said unfolded tonight at the bowling alley there. And I'll be frank, when we received those in the newsroom, there were audible gasps. They are jarring photos to see, especially when you know where they're taken from. They're not a photo from a town somewhere else. They're in our neighborhood now. So we recognize that there's a lot to process in seeing these images and knowing what unfolded tonight.
And I can't get over still the timing of the incident, which according to Commissioner Sawchuk was 6:56 p.m. That bowling alley, that had kids, right? There's kids in the bowling alley. There's adults in the bowling alley. Maybe Wednesday's bowling night for your team, your workplace, your group of friends, whatever it is. You think it's a fairly innocuous activity to go out and go bowling, and then something like this happens, and your world gets turned literally upside down. And We all sit around now and search for answers.
If it's true, if this dude has a night vision scope mounted on the AR-15 platform, it could even be a 308 platform. That's bad situation, y'all. You have somebody that is skilled with that type of weaponry out there in the dark. He's got the upper hand. He's literally got the upper hand. As far as that goes, I mean, they have him by numbers. He's gonna get taken out. But how many law enforcement agents is he gonna take out before they take him out? It's not a good situation for law enforcement at all, man. This is so dangerous, man. So dangerous for them. Prayers to these gentlemen, these women and men out there.
Search for healing and for peace and for our state to help us in that regard, and search for Robert Card. I mean, I don't think anybody will, certainly rest easily until that very important piece of this whole
mention of it being modified to hold more ammo. Well, Steffi, you don't have to modify an AR-15 platform to hold more ammo. You just have to have a bigger clip. The magazine, that's what holds the ammo. So it doesn't have to be modified. They have drum magazines that hold up. I mean, you can get 100 rounds easy. So if he has something like that, bad situation, really bad situation. And then it's probably chambered 223, so AR-15. But if it's chambered, saying it's 7.65, right? I think that's what it is. That's a 308, man. That's all bad, man. That's all bad. Because I mean, that's pretty much a sniper rifle round, and you're talking about a man that's trained to use that, knows how to use it, and he's got a night vision scope on it. Bad, y'all. Super, super bad situation.
Full, domino is taken care of. And obviously, as Commissioner Sawchuk alluded to, literally hundreds of law enforcement officials from our state are currently working right now as we speak.
I would assume, Jim B, that the feds are there because a firearm was used in the commission of the crimes. So that automatically makes it, they can get, federal in that. I do believe, and especially it being a mass shooting like that, it can be considered domestic terrorism. So I would assume the feds are there.
Trying to find this person of interest, and, they should have the speed and the wisdom and the knowledge and the ability to make that happen as soon as possible.
You're looking at his photo again, Robert Card, on your screen right now. Is a person of interest in tonight's shooting that left anywhere from 15 to 20 people dead.
That haggard looking dude is the same age as me. That is so crazy, bro. Probably living a hard life.
And possibly 50 people injured as well. You were also looking at some video from outside spare time recreation of just showing that the perimeter that is pretty much around the building as well, and how far back people are being kept from that building. Certainly a tremendous crime scene there to process for officials as well. And in terms of kind of the scope of the response to this, obviously this has the nation's attention tonight. Personally, I've had messages from people all over the country realizing what's going on here, asking that everything's okay. Other journalists who I know on their way here to cover this and saying that, on their drive here on the highway.
Who wants to bet me $20 JLR shows up there in 12 hours or less? Who wants to put money on it? We take some bets.
Highway.
I'm just playing YouTube. I'm not really betting on YouTube. I was just showing. It's a joke. God.
Law enforcement passing them. So this is where there is a focus right now. And I think in large part because there's that giant question, where is he right now? And that is unsettling.
Yeah, it doesn't make you feel good. I mean, even just talking honestly with my own family. I mean, they're awake right now. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. I've got kids of all age groups, and they're all, they have concern. They have friends in the Lewis and Auburn area. They don't know if their friends are okay. They can't get in touch with them. And so I'm answering their questions as I'm sitting here talking to you, searching for our own answers for work and for life. And everybody's in the same situation.
Sassy says, why did he do this? Have they said? That we're hearing mental health. So far, it's mental health. The dude was, like I said, was in on like a 2-week mental hold or something. Sounds like it's mental health. Let's see. Let me see. 308 is okay, but a 5.56 with bump stock is a lot better. Yeah, for close combat, definitely. But I'm just like worried the dude also. I mean, we don't know what he had in any of those vehicles. if he's sitting out there with a higher caliber, like then he would have the ability to sit back with that night vision scope and just all bad, yo, all bad. Let's hope it's just the 5.56 though. Let's hope it's just the 5.56
situation. But I think your word unsettling really hits it on the head. It's just we're all just on edge because we just don't know what's going to be next. Is, God forbid, the next thing going to be something awful that we hear about in another part of our state? Is the next thing that we're going to hear be, thank goodness they got him?
Gatorade JLR should be boarded his private jet and should be stalking this guy by daylight. That's no joke, man.
And we don't know the answer to that question. And as I was mentioning before to the doctor that was gracious enough to spend some time with.
Let me bump this forward. I keep stopping and talking too much, y'all. Let's just
weave their way through
a
lot of
this
these.
guy again. Not this guy again, bro. I can't do this guy again. Y'all, this dude's gonna just kill my vibe. Let's see. I'm not sure. Wow, did he need guns? Did anyone think he would have done something like this? Yeah, they knew he was like mentally unstable and they still let him get out
of these cases. And so the information that has been shared, if it turns out to be true, is not necessarily surprising, but is again more evidence that these types of events are preventable and we need to take them, I think, a little bit more seriously. And it's a challenging.
Dude, in the morning, if I wake up in the morning to do the morning live, and he might be in the bushes, guys. I might have to be broadcasting, I'm gonna go live at 7 a.m. Cali time, right, West Coast. So by then, there's a damn good chance, y'all, the JLR will be out there, and I will stream snipe him because he allows that. So I will broadcast whatever he's got popping off for sure. Let's see. I got a bolt action, Cal, 800 yards. Yeah, that'll get the job done and some. Dear Aunt Donna, I had violence towards an ex-wife, restraining order, and mental health center not long ago at all. Dear Aunt Dana, good to see you. Thank you for being here. I think this is the first time I've seen you here. Thank you for being here. Yeah. He had violence towards an ex-wife, restraining order, in a mental health center not long ago. Okay, so that's what the whole mental health situation is. Thank you for adding to that. Appreciate you adding to that. That's what my community is about. We like to get everybody in here. Everybody brings in all the information. We just kind of vet it out and figure out what's popping. Thank you for that. I appreciate that.
Situation, you don't want to strip somebody of their rights when they have not actually engaged in an attack. But until we figure out a way to take guns out of the hands of people who are intending to do harm, I think that we need.
Sassy, you feeling that way because this is that bad of a situation, man. It's that bad of a situation.
To do our best to focus on people who have made concerning comments or behaviors are concerning, and figure out what we can do to ensure that they do not harm others.
Thanks for sticking with us. I'm Amanda Hill. This is Zach Blanchard. And that was Michael Roque, who's with Bates College, where they are still under lockdown.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm glad that dude's not talking no more. He was making it hard to stay awake, yo.
Lewiston in general still being asked to keep their doors locked and shelter in place. Now, what we are learning from the AP, which got a police intelligence bulletin, is a little bit more information about the man that police were looking for, Robert Card. They say that he had been trained as a firearms instructor at a U.S. Army Reserve training facility in Maine. This bulletin.
So he's not actual like ex-veteran. We're talking Army Reserve, which is still military. I know, but you go tell like a full like on veteran or military guy what some people are saying that he's ex-veteran, and they would be unhappy with y'all. I'm just gonna let y'all know that, but. This is serious, man. Even though he not like went over and fought overseas, he's trained. He's trained.
He says that he had been committed to a mental health facility for 2 weeks in the summer of 2023. It didn't provide specific details about treatment.
Dear Aunt Dana says, scanner really quiet now. So the scanners went quiet. Dang, that could be a good thing or a bad thing. It could be a good thing. They might know where he's at and they're ready to, put the tactical plan in play. Or it could be a bad thing. They could like literally have lost this dude and not know where he is at all. Let's hope they're getting ready to do some type of tactical thing and take this dude out. And that's why things are quiet. That's not good, y'all. That's not good.
Or condition. But it did also say that he had reported hearing voices and had threatened to carry out a shooting at the military training base in Saco. Again, that's all information from the AP, which got it from the Police Intelligence Bulletin. And again, Robert Card is the person of interest that police are looking for. He's 40.
Gator said he could be prior and in reserve for tenure and benefits. But I mean, if he was ex-military straight up, like it would probably be on here. They'd probably have told us that.
Years old.
He could be listening to scanners. You know what? We experienced that now before, right? We've experienced that situation in a manhunt, so that's a possibility.
And he lives in Bowdoin.
Yeah, right now, police agencies from all across the country, really, and across the state are working to track this man down, a person they are calling a person of interest in this shooting, of course.
So we got 22 votes on the poll. Y'all are 50-50 split right now, 50-50 split on whether or not they're going to catch this man tonight. Or I guess it's next day there. Night for me, though.
Truly hard to process for a lot of us tonight. And one of the elements here, we had reporters at a reunification center in Auburn where people were actually going to get some good news, to actually hear that their family members, their loved ones survived this tragic, unimaginable event. And we heard from Mayor Jason Levesque at that, and he went into the center and he kind of described what it was like to experience that.
We're at the reunification site right now. Glad to see a lot of people coming, picking up their loved ones that were witnesses and actually at this event. Been talking with them, and my heart and prayers, and I think all of ours in this whole area, in the whole state, frankly, are going out to them right now so they can get a speedy recovery.
What were you hearing from the people in there?
That's really what I wasn't hearing. I mean, at this point, there's a significant amount of shock going on with people that were actually witnesses. Obviously, when I was bringing people in that were looking for their loved ones, there's fear, there's panic. Of course, there's worry, understandable. But the people that were actually there tonight, was what I didn't hear. It's shock. It's shock. It's hard for me to explain. And and I want them to be able to go home and hold their families.
Y'all can see the pain in that man's eyes from what he's witnessed. Let me catch up in chat real quick, guys. Dear Aunt Dana says, this is already reminding me of Cavalcante. Same. I covered that, and it's pretty similar vibes, except for this man is actually armed and doesn't want to just escape. Obviously, he wants to do damage. So, but it's definitely got those vibes. Let's hope they have a better perimeter, right, than they have with Cavalcante, though. Let's hope and pray. What is the weather there tonight? I'm not sure. See you later. It doesn't look too bad. I mean, it's probably colder being up north, right? But I'm not 100%. Stony Stone, I promise they're not going to use the main frequencies to explain what they're doing. That's a fact. No, I agree with you. It makes sense. Jim B, thank you for dropping that. Yeah, if any of you guys hang out on Rumble, we're not multicasting on this one, guys. For some reason, my Rumble and my Facebook weren't connecting, so we're not streaming on Rumble right now. But if you guys do the Rumble thing, go over and hit your boy up over there. I do usually stream multiple places, nowadays. Let's see. Jim B says JLR has a code. Will travel. Yeah, that was good stuff. All right, let's get back into this.
But this reaches a whole new level, and they might just be saying, what do I do?
Not the sleepy guy again. Damn it.
When John comes home from work tonight.
Well, and law enforcement families, first responders families are accustomed to their loved ones experiencing trauma. And how do you keep a safe place at home for them to return back to? How do you make sure they've got a hot meal when they get there, peace to sleep, a place to talk if that's what they choose to do? Because they're going to be traumatized as well.
Absolutely.
Even for them, the stress you mentioned, that
Miss Darcy, good to see you. Good to see you.
stress on their body. How do you like safely come down from? I know a lot of people, even just watching this, experiencing so much adrenaline right now. Those locked in their homes experiencing adrenaline. How do you safely come down?
Well, those stress hormones, there's some real important tips. First, drink plenty of water. Hydrate, good food, really work to get rest. And tomorrow, exercise, move your body, because that's going to...
He's pretty much explaining what you should be doing every day in your life anyways, y'all. You should literally be doing the same stuff anyways to have a healthy life. Oh, my Lord.
Help release those stress hormones. If you do well talking and emoting, find someone safe that you can do that with. All those steps are really important.
How do you tell too when you should not talk? When you
Gator hater, 100% lurch. I'm telling you, that was a good one. Jennifer B, 54 current 10th there. Thank you, Jim B. I have the best community. Y'all are the best.
should not ask too many questions.
Know your loved one.
Mm.
And some of them will say, you know, when I come home, I just need some time to kind of settle, and then I can talk. I need to go outside and stack some wood or do something just to process with my body, and later I'll be ready to talk. Other people,
dear Aunt Dana, thank you very much for that. I appreciate that. Thank you. I really do. That was sweet of you.
I'm going to be talking to you on the phone on their drive home. So just know your loved one and how they process.
Now it's definitely time to check in and hug your loved ones close. Greg Marley with NAMI Maine, thank you so much. We want to remind you that police are still continuing this search for a person of interest in the shooting in Lewiston that has killed 15 to 20 people, injured as many as 50 others. Right there on your screen, this is Robert Card. According to police, he was trained as a firearms instructor at a U.S. Army Reserve training facility in Maine. Card had been committed, according to police, to a mental health facility for 2 weeks in the summer of 2023. They didn't give specifics about the treatment, but there are reports that Card had heard voices and had threatened to carry out a shooting at a military training base in Saco. And so the manhunt continues still.
Why the fuck? How, man? This dude literally said he was going to do this, and y'all let him do it. What the
For Card,
my
there
Lord.
was initially earlier this evening when we were on the air with you, we were sharing these images of the surveillance footage in that car that they ultimately found in the Lisbon Falls area empty, but they have not found Card. So we, as Amanda said earlier, hundreds of law enforcement officials from all across the state, all across New England, local, state, federal, are involved in this manhunt. Multiple towns have shelter-in-place orders. So Lewiston is still, at last check, in a shelter-in-place, as well as Lisbon. So if you live in those communities and you're still watching us, please stay inside your homes. And if you're heading to bed and when you wake up in the morning, make sure you check and make sure to see what the situation is to keep you and your family safe.
Also want to check because school likely closed in your area, so definitely keep track of that. Now, we talked about the numbers, just the astounding numbers, 15 to 20 people killed, up to 50 injured. And want to point out that the 50 injured, we're told, not necessarily gunshot wounds, a lot of that from escaping the dangers of what was going on, just the stampede of getting out of there. You can imagine the terror in all of that. All night long, we've been seeing images of people running out of spare time recreation, that bowling alley on Mollison Way there in Lewiston. We've heard horror stories from Schmeggy's Bar and Grill on Lincoln Street. I know we heard from a woman earlier tonight who was waiting at Central Maine Medical Center to hear if her son was okay. She knew he was at the hospital, but she had no other information to go by. So we have had reporters in multiple locations tonight, which is where hundreds of those officers have been dispatched out to as they continue the search for Robert Card.
Right. And we also want to touch on.
He knew exactly where to go to, guys. He knew exactly where to go, at what time to go there, to have like the maximum amount of people there to do maximum amount of damage. I feel like this, I don't think this was like a spur of the moment. I think this was planned. Like, well planned, probably. Just my speculation.
And that Maine's hospitals are, of course, on high alert tonight. We are just learning that Maine Medical Center has alerted all on-call staff and created.
Dana says, "Oh my God, like who could actually sleep that lived in the vicinity? They say the dumbest sometimes." I'm telling you, man. Oh my Lord, that I like that comment. Jim B says, "Google is trusted BFF." Can't question Google, man, right? Don't be doing that. I don't do it because I don't want Google to mess up my algorithm. I'll be looking good in Google. If you guys Google my stuff, dude, your boy pops up. Google's friendly with me. I ain't trying to ever question Google.
Critical care and operating room capacity in anticipation for those patients, those victims, to be taken from Central Maine Medical Center, where we saw just crowds of people gathered earlier, to Maine Med, which is, of course, the state's largest tertiary center that trains for moments.
Do you guys know what tertiary means? Just in case you guys don't know what tertiary means, that's like your third, right? You have secondary, tertiary is your third, you know what I mean? Your third option, your third place. So you'll hear that with military speak there, you know what I mean? You have your primary, secondary, tertiary, just in case you guys didn't know what that meant.
It's like this. Of course, we never want them to happen, but they are prepared. We've heard of at least one person being transported to Maine Med so far, but the hospital tells us that they, out of an abundance of caution and because of the situation, all of Maine Health hospitals have closed their campuses to non-hospital personnel and non-patients until further notice. So, of course, that's a big deal, so that they can focus on the patients that need immediate care. We're also hearing that other hospitals in the state are taking similar steps.
I want to talk about this too. Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords, a lot of you know she was the founder of the gun violence prevention organization Giffords. A lot of people know her background with this, and she released a statement because so many people are taking note of what's going on here in Maine. And she had said, in part,
we got 29 of y'all in here. If y'all can do me a huge favor while we're live, if you smash that like and smash that share while we're here, it helps me big time in the algorithm, y'all. Let them know we're here. Let them know we're covering it. Y'all know it's the place to be. You gotta let them know.
Doesn't have to be this way, and it shouldn't be this way. Entire communities shouldn't have to live in fear of an active shooting. My heart breaks for the Lewiston community, the victims and the survivors. Earlier this week, I visited Uvalde and met with the families and survivors of that mass shooting. I'm angry that yet another community has to experience this pain. Our leaders must act. Again, that was Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords speaking on what has happened tonight here in Lewiston. And by the way, Maine received an F from the Giffords Law Center's annual gun law scorecard. So certainly noteworthy there to hear from her.
Absolutely. And Greg mentioned earlier the impact on law enforcement and first responders tonight. The National Fraternal Order of Police just tweeted out a statement saying, "Please pray for all those impacted by the active shooter situations at 2 locations in Lewiston, Maine. Maine State Police and local law enforcement partners are urging people to stay inside. Prayers for all of our law enforcement officers who are racing to respond to the situation to neutralize this threat." So all the families of our law enforcement officers, first responders, medical personnel are in our thoughts as well this evening.
Certainly. Sam Rogers, by the way, has been on scene tonight with Hannah Cumler in Lisbon Falls. We know that's been another active scene for us tonight. Sam, what can you tell us at this point?
Yeah, Amanda and Zach, well, it's been about an hour or so since we last spoke with you. And since then, we can still see that wasn't a police cruiser there, but a number of cruisers in the last 2 hours or so going down this way towards Lisbon Street, because to our right, as we've said throughout the evening, but now we do know about a mile, a little bit more than a mile of Lisbon Street is closed off. We try to go to the other side just to see if we could get any more information. Police blocking off several access points across Lisbon Street from here in Lisbon Falls to the Lisbon Town Center and near the town hall. And we actually just got back to Lisbon High School a few moments ago. And when we pulled in, we saw 2 tactical units. I wasn't able to tell if it was state police, sheriff's office, or what agency, but 2 tactical units pulling in behind the high school and the parking lots. If you were with us a few hours ago, you noticed that we were talking about the mobile gas station that we are at. the police presence still remaining relatively the same. Again, one officer has been off of our right shoulder for hours, making sure that if the folks who can get past the him live there or need to go there for some sort of emergency, we've seen a lot of cars pull around and turn around. And again, a number of officers still off to our left. And we have been talking about this chopper. It sounds like a helicopter, looks like a helicopter. We've seen it use a spotlight. You might see in a few seconds.
I am having Cavalcante flashbacks, y'all. I'm having flashbacks. I am. Where's the cone, y'all? Look for a cone.
When it does another rotation, it's getting closer to where we have been. Again, we're at Lisbon High School. Before, when we were talking to you guys around 8, 9 o'clock, it was kind of more so in the distance, but now you may be able to start hearing it pick up on our microphones. And just to kind of reset for those who have just kind of tuned in, Hannah Kumler and I got up here a number of hours ago as we got closer to the Lewiston and Auburn area. We were heading to Sabattis. It seemed like about 5 miles from those Lewiston exits, we started seeing cruisers parked on the side of the road.
Yo, I love comments like this. Dear and Dana says, get Cavalcante in front of a Google screen. He could probably tell him where to search. Criminal minds think alike. You ain't lying. You ain't lying.
With their stoplights and their spotlights centered onto the lanes of traffic, trying to identify the person of interest, the vehicle that he may or may not have been in. So that was one thing that we noticed when we were here. And then another thing, again, this police presence that we've been talking about.
Miss Dumplin's still in here? You midnight eating? I'm kind of hungry too myself. I'll be honest with y'all. I'm kind of hungry. I ain't gonna lie.
The officers, some in tactical gear, some drawn with rifles, the majority of them drawn with rifles, remaining by that mobile gas station. We haven't seen a lot of activity. Now, I'm not going to sit here and talk about police tactics as we look at another truck coming in. That's just another news outlet, so no tactical truck there. But, I'm not going to go and dive deep into details about police tactics, but we have seen a similar number of officers on scene for a variety of different situations. Lee, Brian, Zach.
Your cat's jacked you for your ice cream? You try to pull a Mab and your cat's jacked you.
Amanda, you guys have been talking about for hours about how law enforcement in our state trained for this. We've seen that response over the years at various breaking news scenes across the state, regardless of what the alleged crime is. Again, the helicopter coming in right over our head. This is not going to be able to see it, of course, where we're sitting under a tree, but this is the closest we have got to that helicopter. You should be able to hear it over the microphone.
Yeah, bro, we hear it. We hear it, bro.
Again, Zach and Amanda, Lisbon Street closed off for a mile here in Lisbon Falls. Seems to be like some more activity is picking up. We will, of course, let you know when we hear any more information.
Getting excited,
All
bro.
right, Sam Rogers, stay safe out there.
I am. I'm having Cavalcante flashbacks. Every time the helicopter started chopping, I was like, oh my God, we're about to hear something. Something about to pop
Heard
off.
that helicopter kind of circling those communities throughout the evening, obviously continuing to search for that man. We want to bring in News Center Maine's Jack Moment, who we've been talking to throughout the evening. He's been outside of Central Maine Medical Center, where all of those families have friends, loved ones come together to try and make sense of what happened, track down their loved ones. And Jack, I think you spoke to a local city councilor about what's happening there.
I did, Zach. That's correct. I did speak with Leroy Walker. He is the Auburn City Councilor for Ward 5. As we were standing here over the past few hours, it's been relatively quiet, but he pulled in his car, just walked into the hospital, walked right out, came up to us, says that his son is actually the manager at the bar in Lewiston, Schmeggy's. And he said that he hasn't heard from his son since the shooting took place. He said he's called around to various hospitals and still has not heard from his son. All of the hospitals in the area have said that they have not heard of him at all either. So we had a conversation, as many of the families here at Central Maine Medical Center have been really telling me all this time, is that they really just don't have answers about how their loved one is doing. But in speaking with Leroy, the city council for Ward 5, he's confused. He's frustrated, just like
Gator Hater, that's lit. Do you know about the French fries and the Frosty? Yo, I thought that's a Cali thing. I thought it was just a Cali thing.
many of the parents that we've been talking with as well. We did get a chance to speak with him, and he kind of talks about how some of it's really setting in on him, that there's a possibility that his son may be dead.
If you had
Dear Aunt Dana, I can tell I like you. I like you. Yeah, we're having PTCD, post traumatic Cavalcante syndrome. Dude, I'm having to eat my words because I literally just said yesterday that we're not going to see another manhunt like that. That, you know, we're all going to just want to stream and jump on and watch to the end. A day later, not even 24 hours later, this pops off. I'm like, damn. There I go, opening my mouth.
My gut right now, I feel like I'm squashed with a vice. My neck and the back of my head feels like there's a vice squashing it the other way. And I don't know, telling you the truth, what kind of night this is going to be from now until tomorrow when I wake up to the true facts that my son is dead, and I know he's dead. I know it as well as I know I'm standing here telling you, because he's not here and he's not at any other hospital and he's not.
Oh man, this man is gonna break my damn heart. Oh, this one's rough, y'all. This one's a rough one. It's bad, guys. Oh my goodness.
Running the streets, so he would have called us because he manages Shemingi's. So I know he was there.
And he still doesn't have any answers right now. He said that these next 24 hours will be critical, depending on if he gets information or not. He says that he talks to his son nearly every day. So not hearing his son in these past few hours has been really concerning to him. So he's also in contact with his son's wife.
Yo, when you hear a parent just straight up say, I know he's not with us anymore. Because, well, he was there, he was the manager, and if he was still, he would have gotten contact there. We would hear. Yo, that man just broke my heart, y'all. Oh my Lord. I can't, man. Hey Roger, good to see you here, brother. Thank you for being here on this coverage. Steffi, the family should have known already. That is so sad. I know, man, there's a lot of families that don't know right now if their family member is alive or not. I was wondering if he had somebody helping him hide, but I couldn't imagine anyone helping that monster. I'm thinking he's hiding in the woods. There's a good chance, yeah. I mean, there's a good chance that he did I feel like he had this plan pretty well, and if he's got the type of, you know, training and experience they say that he does, then we're looking like at Cavalcante 2.0. This ain't one of our mushroom snowflake types. This is a hardened individual who does not care about human life and has a mission, and he is accomplishing his mission.
And their family as well says that they actually just remodeled their home, and says it's going to be a really rough next few days, unpacking a lot of what's happened here. Now, if you look to my left here, you could see that this is the entrance to Central Maine Medical Center, and where those guards are standing right there, that is where the families were earlier today, offering up information about their loved ones to the hospital so they could keep tabs and find out more information on if their loved one who was potentially impacted by this mass shooting has been staying here. Again, we still have a suspected shooter on the large here.
Dumpling. Oh, we were getting reports that he was a veteran, but it sounds like he's not, like he wasn't an active military guy, that he was actually just a reservist, but he was a trained firearms instructor. But so I don't know if that, you know what I mean? He might just have mental health issues in general, but I'm not sure. Well, I'm sure we'll find out more though.
Maine State Police say that they're asking people to look out for a Richard Card. He is 40 years old. He is considered dangerous, and the Associated Press is reporting that, Robert Card.
I 100% agree with that statement. Prayers sent up for those family members. We can all pray for real. This is more serious than Cavalcante, for real. I agree with you. I like to keep it lighthearted over here, so I do joke a lot, but no, this is definitely this is bad. Let's see. Lori P. Good to see you, Lori P. And dear Aunt Danny, you joined up. Welcome to the gang. Welcome to the Piscine gang. Yeah, we call it the lagoon here. Piscine means fish-like creature, so, you know, we be fishes. I know you probably see the badges and stuff, so thank you for joining up. You won't regret being over here, I promise. We got the best community. Dumba says, okay, that's what I was wondering. His picture makes me sick. I agree with you. I agree with you. Let me see what else you guys are saying. Let me catch up in chat. Okay, I think I'm caught up. Let's keep going.
Actually had the man identified as the person of interest. He's a firearms instructor trained by the military and was recently committed to a mental health facility, according to state police. Now, if we bring the camera back here, really just standing here for the next these past couple hours, you really get maybe the tip of the iceberg of the gravity of what this loss means for community members here. But being here, you really do feel that loss. And there still is an active shooter lockdown happening here in Lewiston, as well as in Lisbon. Maine State Police and Lewiston PD, as well as Lisbon, are asking people to stay in place, lock the doors, do not go inside, don't do any unnecessary travel. But for now, we are here live outside Central Maine Hospital, the hospital closest to those locations of the shooting where, as we heard, NBC.
I have a Pisces moon, so we get, oh, snap. I like it. I like it. I like it.
He's reporting 15 to 20 people here in Lewiston lost their lives earlier this evening. We'll throw it back to you guys.
Yeah, Jack, I want to stay with you for a little bit. First, thank you for your incredible coverage tonight. This is not easy. I do want you to, especially for folks who were not tuned in earlier, can you really just paint the scene for us about what it was like to see the number of people gathered outside of the hospital earlier? And I know you spoke to some other people as well there.
Yeah, Zach, that's true. Being here in the beginning hours of what's happened, dozens of people, like I said, standing out in front of the Central Maine Medical Center, entering the information of their loved ones. It was also when those dozens of people were standing there and we were reporting live that we learned that the death toll was going to be so massive here. And so learning that information and seeing that there's so many family members here who don't know if their loved one is alive or dead, it's really hard to wrap your brain around. And that's something that I think will stick with a lot of people for a long time. It's like I said, it's just hard to wrap your brain around, really.
All right, Jack Moment again.
That whole community shook. Everybody, the reporters, every one of them, they're all shook, man. I feel so bad for that community. Let me jump us back ahead from my rambling.
Kids are going to need.
Dang it, this guy again, man. How many rounds of this guy are they going to put us through?
Reassurance. They're going to need a whole lot more physical hugs and cuddles. They're going to need simple messaging and the first step is for that parent to calm themselves so that they're delivering it in an even way, giving them just the facts based on their age and stage, Zach, not over their head.
That's right, Jim B. We object to that regular YouTube crap. We got to have that YouTube premium, yo. You have to have it. And like I said, y'all, you'll notice no commercials, right? We never have commercials over here. I mean, I don't even know how other content creators do it. Like, how are you going to do that to your people?
And expect them to have lots of questions and to react in their own style and their own age.
We've mentioned a lot of schools, even not near Lewiston or Lisbon, closing tomorrow, recognizing the scope of this. But you yourself, you spoke with the Department of Education earlier tonight. How are they planning to move forward with something like this?
You feel me on it, right, Gator Hater? Dude, every time this dude jumps up, I'm just like, it's creepy.
To talk with their kids.
What the department was doing was trying to get out information to the administrators and the clinicians and the teachers on how to support kids when they're back in school, to how to hold the conversations, what resources are available in the state and nationally to help inform that. Around, it's called psychological first aid, that engagement to help ground and settle someone who's just jangly after this kind of traumatic event.
You also mentioned that you have been speaking with coordinators in the Lewiston-Auburn area tonight. How are they preparing for all of this right now?
Well, I had an email just a few minutes ago with Catherine Ryder, who's the Chief Executive Officer at Tri-County Mental Health. And she said that her crisis response, critical incident response team is out tonight working with law enforcement on death notifications and support. And they're going to be, across the community tomorrow doing the same work, supporting people doing that critical incident response to help stabilize folks.
So are you working with other agencies across the state, or do you expect to be working with other agencies across the state to support those kinds of efforts as this
I
unfolds?
think my schedule tomorrow is going to go out the window as I'm trying to support this, what happens in the aftermath of this event.
Absolutely. A whole nother force of important humans comes into play after the fact. Absolutely.
Greg, thank you for joining us again. This is all very, what you said, psychological first aid, just had never heard that.
All right, let's try this other link Stoney sent us. Let's try this one out. Let's see what they're saying over here. All right. Let me see. Let me get this.
Now is the state leader for the Department of Public Safety, which includes state police. Here's what he was talking about earlier tonight when he gave a briefing about what we know about this case.
This is a general caution to the public that approximately 6:56 this evening, a couple of shooting incidents occurred here with multiple casualties in the city of Lewiston. And police are currently searching for a Robert R. Card, 4/4 of 1983 of Bowdoin. Card is considered armed and dangerous. He is a person of interest, however, and that's what we'll label him at moving forward until that changes. If people see him, they should not approach Card or make contact with him in any way. The shelter-in-place order that currently stands in Lewiston remains. A vehicle, which was a vehicle of interest in this incident, was located in Lisbon, and we are now also asking residents in Lisbon to shelter in place.
Thank you, Stoney. Yeah, no, thank you for getting us away from lurch. I appreciate it.
Please share that information with communities as well. If anybody sees Mr. Card or has any additional information reference to these two shootings in the city of Lewiston, please contact 911. If they see anything suspicious, please feel free to call their local authorities. We have literally hundreds of police officers working around the state of Maine to investigate this case, to locate Mr. Card, who again is a person of interest and a person of interest only. And we'll continue to gather information so that we can bring the suspect to justice and ultimately seek prosecution down the road.
Wait. What do you say, Jimmy? What? He seriously looks like he could be your dad at TRPP 100. Keep hitting the gym. Which one? Who? Who could be my dad? Can you clarify what you're saying? Which one?
CBS 13's
But you know I'll be hitting that
joining
gym.
us, joining us right now live from Auburn. Let's send it over to Johnny. And Johnny, what's happening there?
Yo, stop the show. Stop the show. Miss Ann's here. How you doing, Miss Ann? Thank you for coming in on this live action. Thank you for being here. I know you got scanners and stuff you be sitting by, but thank you for being here.
Hey, Marissa. So I'm getting some updates from some people I was talking to actually over at Central.
Yo, you're saying I look like that pew pewer? Oh, that's just wrong. That pew pewer don't have these beautiful eyes. Come on, man. Okay, the curls are out. I got the hair up, but come on, don't do me dirty like that.
Maine Medical Center. One of the mothers telling me her son was shot 4 times. He's on a ventilator right now, and they're finally able to go see him at. It's now 1:30 in the morning here. They've been, keeping in touch with me through the middle of the night. She's telling me her name's Jessica. Her son got shot 4 times. His spinal cord.
Oh my
sergeant said
God.
his kidneys and also his shoulder blades. And another father tells me of a separate family that he was looking for his son as well. And he tells me this at the 1:30.
Jim B, the pew pewer is literally the same age as me. We're the same age. He's born in the same year as me. And you're over here saying he looks like my dad? One, thank you for saying I look that young. I appreciate you. But, man, we don't look the same.
As well, that the sergeant said his son got shot as well. And, he was looking for him. They said they thought they had him, but then they found out that they might not have him in there. So still looking for answers right there, too. Now, earlier tonight, like you guys were mentioning, we caught up with Auburn Mayor Jason Levesque here, who said, what's going on? How do we do this? I've never had to talk about something like this before. And we really haven't seen this, like David's been mentioning in Maine. You don't expect it to happen in a place like
Hey, what's legit though is this dude that's talking right now kind of looks like one of my younger brothers, to be honest with you.
Like this. But this is a reunification center here at the Auburn Middle School. And so they're both witnesses as well as people related to and loved ones of the victims behind us in the middle school. And Mayor Levesque said they're going to be here until as long as they need to be here. And he also said, you know, he's seen some people receive that bad news that you really just never want to hear. So we're hoping for the best, certainly for the victims, that the families we've been talking to and all of the families out there. And those hospital workers are really trying to connect everyone. Now, if we rewind a little bit to a few hours ago, right? We were on the way, the crew, the photographer I'm with, we were driving up 95, and in the New Gloucester area, we kept pulling over everybody. All these blue lights were flashing right by us. They're all going in the same direction, but it was crazy. Once you got to Lewiston, we got to Central Maine Medical Center. We were driving through Lewiston, and cops were going in different directions with their lights on. They were on their toes. There was heavy security over at Central Maine Med, and you know, we kept talking about the helicopters all night, right? Some of them went over to Portland, and of course, the Boston FBI is on the scene, is alert to everything as well. And so just this.
I'm gonna predict. Check it out. If they don't get this guy in the next 12 hours, I think he unalives himself. I think that's what's going to happen, y'all. That's my prediction. If they don't catch him within 12 hours and put him down themselves, I bet you the dude unalives himself if he hasn't already. I got this feeling that's how this is going to end.
It's a crazy situation. Certainly had everyone on their toes across New England, really.
Oh yeah, Johnny. And again, I said it to you earlier, boy. Just thank you for getting us those updates from those families that you were staying in touch with, and just heartbreaking to hear that they're getting that kind of news. And our prayers are with
certainly heartbreaking.
Miss Little Moon, good to see you. Thank you for being here, and I agree. This is a crazy one.
Thank you so much, Johnny.
And Johnny, mentioning, you know, some of the helicopters that we've been hearing throughout the night. This one shows the track of one from the New Hampshire State Police.
All right,
this
this is
FlightAware,
good stuff right here.
showing the search path of this helicopter. Right now, you can see it's over. That's the Androscoggin River.
That is the Androscoggin.
He's
River.
running like Cavalcante, guys.
This is in Lisbon. You can see where that search
He's
has
running.
really been concentrated. We know they found
He's following
a
that river.
vehicle,
I bet
that
you
they
he's
had been
following the
searching
river.
for in connection with the person of interest in Lisbon.
I bet money he's following that river, y'all. He did what he knew where he was going. He knew where he was going to pew pew, and he got out. And I bet you he's following that river now.
And you can see just how many times that helicopter has circled and circled over the same areas. Now it seems to be heading.
I don't know about them green. That looks inappropriate. Them green things look a little. I don't know. Maybe I'm just saying stuff, but that looks a little inappropriate.
A different direction down the Androscoggin.
Expanding the search, and we saw that one loop you're seeing that we're over right there. The loop on the south side of that river, that was relatively recent. That's again for this individual, from what we know, to end up there where the vehicle was on the north side of the river at the boat launch. That's where they found the vehicle of interest. If he ended up on the south side of the river, he would have had to cross the Androscoggin River, which at this time of year, that's never easy for starters.
No, and that's a good point, Gator Hater. Maybe he had a boat. They were down at that boat launch, right? The news network was trying to go down to that boat launch, and they weren't allowed to go down towards the boat launch. So there's a good chance that he could have got and hit the river, and maybe he's not just following the river. Maybe he's literally on the river. And in that case, man, he could have put some distance in. And if he knows where he's going to hide out, man, y'all, this is shaping up to be, I mean, crazier than Cavalcante. Imagine that, y'all. Imagine that. Let's see. What else are you guys saying? Let me catch back up. All right, I'm caught back up. Let me see.
Ooh, it's almost November. That water be extremely cold. It's not fast right now, but it's cold. And now they're still searching on the north side of the river, but farther afield than where they were. Again, based on FlightAware, this is a New Hampshire State Police helicopter, which we've been hearing overhead. Our reporters, Mal Meyer, they're in Lisbon. We've been tracking this helicopter. This is one asset among the many that's out there tonight.
You tell them, saying, hit that button, baby. Hit that button.
Folks. Which is why, again, we felt comfortable sort of sharing that one because it highlighted a couple of points. One, we are getting help from New Hampshire and elsewhere. Two, it's one asset that's looking in the area around the Androscoggin River and around Lisbon right now. And the fact that it's a continued focal point is important to note for the safety of people who are in that area, and to get some context as to where they might be concentrating a search.
Steffi, I'm not sure if that's where he left the car, but it would make sense if he did. All I know is the news network was trying to go down to the boat launch, and they were told that they couldn't go down to that area. So, one plus one is usually two, so it's probably what it is.
But to say we know he's still in the area, no, we don't. They don't know either, obviously. To say that he is even ever was in that area, we don't know that either. But there's good information to believe that he could be, and that's why you see that police presence right now.
And again, hundreds of officers in the area. We know they're not only searching from above, we know there are a lot of law enforcement authorities on the ground as well. And our partners, WBZ, reporting earlier this evening that Massachusetts State Police were stationed at the border with Maine because he had previous ties to Massachusetts. So really, authorities using all of the assets they can in a search to locate this person of interest who you're seeing here, Robert Card. This was a photo released earlier tonight by the Androscoggin County Sheriff's Office. Clearly, he is holding what appears to be an AR-style rifle. This appears to be at the bowling alley, one of the two locations confirmed by police where this mass shooting took place.
Yeah, it's again just mind-boggling. I mean, we're struggling to comprehend that this could happen and that this individual could do this much damage in so little time. Apparently, again, this is the person of interest. He's considered armed and dangerous. Where he is, they don't know. Multiple photos of him being released, though, so to help the public understand who it is and who they're looking for tonight. As we learned, that's Robert Card, age 40. That's according to police, and he's a person of interest. And again, the focal point around Lisbon at the moment, but don't want to get lost on the idea that he could be elsewhere, because he could be.
Yeah, and they've reiterated, if you do see him, come across him, do not approach him.
No.
Call 911. Again, he is believed to be armed and dangerous. And our Dan Lamparello of the I-Team did look into his criminal history just to try to get a little more information.
Interesting here.
The only thing that came up was a single OUI.
And you see the helicopter now heading up the Androscoggin River. I don't want to speculate. It's possible he's been in the air for a couple hours now. It may be that he needs to refuel, and he's heading to a place where he can refuel. And then while he's doing that, he's flying a path at least along the river to give it a look. Again, that's me speculating, just to be very clear right here, folks. But I do want to point something out when it comes to the search. It's not like this is a missing person, right?
Yo, man, I'm telling you right now, if that boy if he's in a boat on that damn river, yo, all bets are off at that point. If that's what's going on here, I don't even know. I've never even seen a manhunt like this pop off. Like, we have an active shooter, multiple locations, unalived multiple people, and then his ability to get in a vehicle and get away and possibly be on a boat. This would be like it's unheard of for me. I've never heard of anything like this. This is crazy.
Mount a large search where you think where a missing person, a hiker who's lost in the woods, where you are going to have grid patterns.
I know, dear Aunt Dana, like, I know it seems asinine that they say that, but like, there's literally people dumb enough to approach the individual. So that's the society we're living in now. Oh man. Stoney said they have no clue where this man is. TPP, none. I'm starting to feel like that's the case, Stoney Stone. Especially if you hit that river. Like, look at that. Look at all the branches on that river. If that dude knew that area and he's in a boat, y'all forget about it, man. They ain't catching him anytime soon. At this point, just my opinion.
Where you can walk and you can call out the person's name that you're looking for them to help them.
Rapper, I think he is, but Stoney disagrees with me. I think if they don't catch him or take him out themselves, that he'll unalive himself. I think so, but Stoney disagrees with me. Stoney thinks he's too much of a narcissist to do it. That's a good argument too. He might be on point with that.
This is not a person who wants to be found. In fact, this is a person who, according to police and everything we know, has no regard for human life.
It's bad enough to think about 22 people losing their lives, others being injured, but the fact that they don't have the person responsible in custody.
Lori P., we can only hope that he crashes his boat. We can only hope and pray that he crashes the boat, for sure.
It is unnerving, obviously, at this point, to a certain degree. That's not because of effort, obviously, clearly not. So yeah, and back to a point that we just made. Again, we're comfortable for context saying that, citing CNN, who's citing law enforcement sources, saying that it's 22 believed to be dead. We're comfortable putting that in some context. We're not trying to say that that's the known number. And to that point, Public Safety Commissioner Michael Sostek was asked about that earlier, if he was willing to.
That's a good point, Jim B. That's a very good point.
Hey, give us a number, because obviously, people want to know. There's a ton of numbers on the internet right now about what that number could be. Here's what he said about that specific issue.
This is a general caution to the public that approximately 6:56 this evening, a couple of shooting incidents occurred here with multiple casualties in the city of Lewiston. And police are currently searching for a Robert R. Card, 4/4 of 1983 of Bowdoin. Card is considered armed and dangerous. He is a person of interest.
How is this dude the same age as me? How? Oh my Lord. What type of life was he living?
However, and that's what we'll label him at moving forward until that changes. If people see him, they should not approach Card or make contact with him in any way. The shelter-in-place order that currently stands in Lewiston remains. A vehicle, which was a vehicle of interest in this incident, was located in Lisbon. And we are now also asking residents in Lisbon.
Yo, see you later. Well, we're friends now that you know who CB Cooper is. DB Cooper, though, right? DB. But yo, if you might be on point with that. He just, instead of the plane, he did it by boat, right? It was a whole different. But I feel you. Like, damn, that's crazy. Yep. Lol, I said the same thing. I'm 2 years older than him. I'm telling you, I don't understand it. It's bad. My boy, he ain't got the good genes. No doubt. No way. Really? He looks my age. No, Luna, the dude's 40 years old. He's literally born the same year as me. This guy's my age. That's crazy.
The shelter in place. So please share that information with communities as well. If anybody sees Mr. Card or has any additional information.
All right, that was Commissioner Sostek talking just in general about the terms. Let's bring that moment, though, when he was asked that question about how many people are dead. Let's put a number on that and what his answer to that was tonight.
I know that there's been a lot of numbers out there. This is a very fluid situation. So the last thing I want to come up is give you a number and then 3 hours from now, change that in one direction or another. So I don't have firm numbers on that. And when I do, we'll be happy to share those with you, because it's an important piece of healing and it's an important piece of information for all of us to be aware of. But I don't have a firm number on that.
But at least 16, right?
I think I just answered that question to say that I'm not going to give you any specific numbers. And there's been a lot of numbers all over the map.
Yeah, the suspect rapper, he's 40, believe it or not. Look a little bit older than that.
All evening. And I don't think that that's helpful because it doesn't help family members. It certainly doesn't help the community to see, well, they just said this and they said that. So if you want accurate information, I'm prepared to give that to you when I have it. I don't have that right now.
That's a good point, Stoney. You make a good point in that one. I can't argue that one, Stoney Stone. That's a good point. That's a good point. Somebody delete your comment, Miss Ann? I don't see any retractions. I don't see any retractions on here. I don't think any of my mods would have deleted it.
So there was his answer to that.
Yeah, as you heard
in
it.
context, which was important to hear, I think.
Unless it's like one of those things that it automatically does with certain words. I'm not sure, Miss Ann, but I don't think so.
Yeah, they'll give us information when they get it. Obviously, their priority is not on necessarily distributing that information right now, but on trying.
Hey, but Miss Ann, that's actually happened to my mom in chat, on my chat, where she's put something in and it like literally disappears. Don't know, but I know that not all my mods love you, so I know they wouldn't delete anything.
To find the person responsible for carrying out this horrific attack tonight.
Yeah, a lot of information they've been gathering throughout the evening, talking to witnesses, as we mentioned, obviously, who are now finally being reunited with their loved ones. And, thank goodness that's actually a good outcome. And it's awful to even think of it that way. Somebody who witnessed a mass shooting, who survived it, who gets a chance to be, go home to their family after dealing with that horrific.
Retired military officer per post on Facebook. Okay. Because I mean that's they're just telling us the reservist stuff. So I mean, I would like to find that out for sure, because that would make a huge difference if the dude was actually active military at one point, was overseas and actually seen combat, then the PTSD stuff would make sense. But if he's just a reservist and that's as much as his experience, I wouldn't understand PTSD at that point.
Incident, and then being debriefed obviously by police as they try and do everything they can to figure out this incident, who this person is and where he might be. For those folks to finally get home to their loved ones, that's a good outcome. And it's still horrific, which is, we can't underline that enough, how much suffering, tragedy, and heartbreak we are having in our communities tonight. As we've been talking about this, it's two things: the search that's preeminent, the loss.
Gator haters coming in with some info. Twice divorced father of 3. Oh, that's PTSD right there, y'all. He didn't even have to go overseas. That's PTSD right there. Let me tell you, I've been through one divorce, y'all. Wasn't on my end. I'll be honest with y'all. I didn't ask for that. But damn, just the one divorce put me through about 5 years of PTSD. So damn, divorced twice and 3 kids. Yeah, makes sense. Checks out.
So that is also preeminent, and that's what I hope I've been trying to emphasize.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I don't know what it is. YouTube hates your boy. They unsubscribe my people. They unring my people's bells. They take my people's comments out of chat. They take my people's comments out of my freaking videos too. Like Sam's Rocks can tell you about that. Like, she's made comments that I've never seen, and she's literally sent me screenshots of it. Sent me like basically not screenshots, but like basically the rundown what it was. And I'm like, yeah, I never saw that. It's crazy. It's happened to her a lot. So I don't know. YouTube hates your boy. Smash the like button. Help me
And
out.
some of the uncertainty right now for people hearing from Johnny, just kind of the unimaginable experience of these families trying to get answers about their loved ones. In one case, I think he said, maybe it was a case of mistaken identity, but they thought they've located a loved one, but it didn't turn out to be the case. So you just can't imagine what people are going through, just not knowing, not having all the answers right now.
And among the uncertainty, again, you have all these different community-based organizations and institutions, Bates College being one of them in Lewiston. They put out a statement tonight. They're telling us that the following, that their classes are canceled for, I should say now, they say.
You guys, I'm going to jump us over to the other one that we were on. I want to see if they got anything new popping over there, because they're a local news station. We'll keep that rolling.
Today at this point, that they've canceled classes for Thursday, writing in part, quote, "We realize that there are."
There we go.
So does the nation. Also tweeting out, our thoughts are with everyone in Lewiston, Maine. So certainly a lot of people paying attention to what's going on here. And it continues to be an active situation. We continue to wait to hear from police that they have found Robert Card, the man at large that they are looking for.
Right. And we see this time and time again, right? When this happens in our country, these messages going out from all sorts of.
I am looking forward to that, Stoney. That sounds depressing. Sir.
Places. It's a tough night to have it happening in Maine. So take a look at your screen right now. This is Robert Card, who Amanda was just talking about. He is the person of interest. Police are actively searching for him tonight. We've heard of several different scenes in Lewiston at spare time, at the bowling alley, at the restaurant and bar, as well as in the Lisbon area. In Lisbon Falls, there's a number of police there, both state, local, even federal, and a helicopter. Sam Rogers was reporting earlier, you could actually hear that helicopter circling the scene, searching for this man who was trained as a firearms instructor in the U.S. Army Reserves facility in Saco. There was even state police saying that he was committed to a mental health facility this past summer. So it's perhaps someone they were aware of.
You ain't lying, Roger Lynn. YouTube police the algorithm is hot tonight, man. They ain't playing.
Yeah, and that said, I think a lot more questions will be coming out of this as
Yeah, you ain't lying, rapper. He don't look happy at all.
this continues to unfold. Including should he have had access to guns? If he did have this history of mental health struggles.
Yeah, earlier Gabby Giffords, who you obviously know survived a mass shooting of her own and started a foundation, kind of voiced her concern about that, about seeing these time and time again. And she releases these statements as they happen, as these shootings happen across the country. And now she's talking about Maine tonight.
Yeah, and Maine actually scored an F.
An F. Stony Stone says it gets better as well. Wait till you get to 5,000 subscribers and you're really at 25,000 people are telling you, but you only see 5,000. You're going to hate it, but you get used to it. Oh, man, you're making YouTube sound so fantastic, Stony. It's sounding like such a great time.
On her report card where
what the hell? What the hell is this? The hell is this? Oh, I was about to say I thought YouTube was sliding a commercial on me. This live stream has concluded. Okay, guys, let's jump over to the other one, see if they're still rolling.
Out to Lewiston, where CBS 13's Anna Kuhn is
Looks
live
like they're still
outside
rolling.
the bar there.
Where's
The one
the
of the
damn
two
volume
scenes
at?
where police say this all
Volume,
began.
bruh. Wait up, let me try this trick.
Marissa, not
No?
a ton of new
Let me
information
try it one
here,
more
but
time. Let's see. There we go.
outside, we have seen some police walking around, some cruisers driving up and down the street. No major.
Gator says has arrest for DV and other crimes, but doesn't say what those other crimes are. Plus, one ex had a restraining order on him. All right. Well, the story's unfolding. The more information we get, the more this is making sense. The more it's making sense. As Tony says, YouTube is horrible. That's why I have 3 attorneys suing that they hate my guts because I tell the truth and prove it. Oh, so they after you, Stony Stone. They're like, he's over here in this chat. We're gonna mess with him. Let's see. Yeah, let's see. Jim B says YouTube just blocked my last 2 comments too. And what's crazy is I'm not seeing that on my end, right? I'm on StreamYard, so I can't see a whole lot from StreamYard, but I keep my phone right here, right? And not only is my phone right here with the video playing so I can see our chat off my phone, I also have my YouTube studio chat pulled out to where I can see studio chat too. And it's not showing me any retractions that YouTube's making on your guys' stuff. So it's literally just pulling that shit and I don't even see it. It's YouTube King. Yeah, they ain't being cool right now. What's up, guys? Gator Hater, he threatened to shoot up the National Guard Center in ME when he was put in mental institution. Let's see. Fox News Channel has a update. He has mental issues. Red flags. Yeah, that's what we're hearing too. And I can't play Fox because Fox is bad about hitting the channels. Let's see. Yeah, but they apologize. Never heard of them apologizing, but I got their apology and I don't forgive them. They owe me millions of dollars. Get them, Stoney. You get them. I was just speaking to those hiding low. Oh, okay. I got you. It will be literally just block them from being posted. Yeah, it's freaking weird, man. I don't know what's up with YouTube. All right, let's keep going.
Changes here, but there is still a police presence. Things are still going on here, but we're not sure what it looks like. Of course, down closer to that scene, we can see cruisers that are just outside the bar. That's where that white sign is. You can see some lights down there, some police cars. Not sure what exactly is going on here, but again, they've been here for hours now. That police presence was much heavier hours ago when we were driving through Lewiston. We saw a lot more cop cars, sirens, and flashing lights. It has calmed down a bit since then, but that police presence is still strong here, and there is no sign of anyone leaving for the night.
All right, Anna Kuhn with a live update there from one of the 2 mass shooting locations that we know of here tonight. Anna, thank you very much. That's along Lincoln Street outside that bar and grill.
And she and so many others of our field crews have mentioned just how quiet it is where they are. The streets are really quiet.
And to be clear, it's 1:54 in the morning at this point. Appreciate those, by the way, who may still be with us trying to get information what's going on. But it's been that way all evening. It's not like it's just now. It's been quiet, strangely quiet in terms of the general populace for hours.
Right, which we take it in part to mean that people are heeding the warnings from law enforcement and following that shelter in place order, staying home so that they stay safe, so that law enforcement can also get out there and do the work that they need to do.
It's the most important thing right now, obviously, folks.
CBS 13's Johnny Maffey also joining us live in Auburn right now.
Hey, Johnny, let's send it back to you again. You've been talking with family members. You're outside of the reunification center there at the Auburn Middle School. What's going on now?
Hey, Gerg and Marissa. So I just been having some trouble hearing you guys all night, and this thing just died, of course. So what we're learning, we're here in Auburn outside.
Bro, I feel you. I was having technical difficulties with my stuff earlier. It sucks, y'all.
The middle school, and we've been talking to Auburn Mayor Jason Levesque. We've also been talking to a lot of families. So this is what they're calling a reunification center. There's both witnesses in here and people who know the victims, trying to reunify and connect everyone back together. That was happening. We heard some really sad stories. We just talked to a father whose son, one of his 7 children, he thought was in the hospital. He found out he's not there right now. So he's certainly looking for updates throughout the night. We're in the middle of the night here, of course, right now. And we were talking a lot earlier also about just some of the family members outside Central Maine Medical Center, not too far down the road here from Auburn, over in Lewiston. And at one point, there were a lot of life flights going back and forth. We keep tracking the helicopters, talking about the helicopters, right? But at one point, the life flights, it may have been law enforcement helicopters, because they were circling around, and security was forcing people closer to the building at one point because they saw the maneuvers they were doing up in the sky, and it seemed like it wasn't those life flights that were landing and heading, whether it be to Maine Med or to other hospitals too. I also got a text from someone in Brunswick that they heard a lot of activity around the Tops and Brunswick area of helicopters in the air, and that's something I just got with someone that's been following this situation and lives out over there by the mid coast.
Gator Hater says some pics posted are of him on a boat with fish. He's on the river, in my opinion. We know he's on the river. We saw those flight paths. That he has to be, right? Like I said, the news station was trying to go down to the boat docks. The law enforcement wouldn't let him down there. That was like, to me, I was like, dude, I think he's on the water. And then when I seen the flight paths and the river, the layout, that boy on the river for sure. He has to be. Cousin Tashi, good to see you, Cousin Tashi. Thanks for dropping in. Stoney says, if I finish up my studio tomorrow, which I almost have it done now, I will be live. Literally was going to go live with this, but I thought I was going to have issues, so I didn't. Yo, I'm excited for you to be back in the game, my friend. Let's see. What else you guys are saying? Yeah, all right. Yeah. I still don't know where you got the rob from, but, I'll take it.
Now, another thing we're learning too is from a local police chief in Maine is that, he said with his training, some things those helicopters might be doing is using some infrared technology. Again, this is not confirmed with the situation with the officers involved, but something they definitely can use. He also said that the suspect, the person of interest, could be very heavily armed, as you guys keep talking about some more and more details about that. And you guys have been filling us in certainly throughout the night regarding that. Now, another thing, as for the reunification center, Auburn Mayor Jason Levesque said it will be open as long as they need it, and it will be a few weeks. Again, I can't hear you guys right now, but we'll send it back over to you and check back in whenever we need to.
All right, Johnny Maffey live for us in Auburn tonight. Thank you, Johnny. And again, hopefully we get Johnny again. It looks like he may have to find a charger for one of his AirPods if we're going to go back to him again live. I had the battery on my earpiece die a short time ago. I had access to another battery, thank goodness. But it just goes to speak to how long, obviously, the situation has been evolving, and our commitment, obviously, to stay with it and to bring you
Still
what we know.
developing in a scary, serious situation.
Absolutely. Auburn's mayor, Johnny alluded to this, spoke about the shootings about an hour ago. He was actually speaking to our Johnny Matthew.
Yeah, police have set up that reunification center for people in Auburn that Johnny mentioned, trying to reunite people who were separated during the chaos. The mayor says this tragedy has really touched the entire area.
And first of all, thank you. It's been a trying time in our community, and granted, where this happened in Lewiston, we are one community, and had a lot of friends and family that were around this, and I just met a couple of them that I didn't know were involved. We're at the reunification site right now. Glad to see a lot of people coming, picking up their loved ones that were witnesses and actually at this event, and talking with them. And my heart and prayers, and I think all of ours in this whole area and the whole state, frankly, are going out to them right now so they can get a speedy recovery.
What were you hearing from the people in there?
That's really what I wasn't hearing. I mean, at this point, this is a significant amount of shock going on with people that were actually witnesses. Obviously, when I was bringing people in that were looking for their loved ones, there's fear, there's panic. Of course, there's worry, understandable. But the people that were actually there tonight was what I didn't hear. It's shock. It's shock. It's hard for me to explain. And and I want them to be able to go home and hold their families and go to sleep and wake up. And
Yeah, I think shock sums it up pretty well. Everybody, it's hard to put into words. This tragedy.
It's still unfolding. Again, it's still very active. The search is still continuing. As we look at FlightAware, because this has been a helpful resource to keep track of where this New Hampshire State Police helicopter has been flying. This is based on a website, FlightAware, that keeps track of basically data that's linked to individual aircraft, where they might be, and that's we're tracking it using that resource. And it's been.
I'm telling you, man, look at those flight paths. That does not give me. I'm not very confident that they know where this dude is at all. Stoney, I think you're right on this one. I think this dude is. He's gonna have a good run. He's gonna have a good run.
Circling and circling and circling along Lisbon Falls. Actually, as we look at this, Lisbon is upper part of your screen where the top of the Androscoggin River bows. That top of that green circle at the top, that's Lisbon. And the other concentrated area down to the right there, just down, that's Lisbon Falls area. So it looks as if, and a lot of that is a wooded area, especially the area on the top area. That's all a pretty wooded area. Some homes, though, it's not just completely woods. There's definitely some residential areas around there too, but Lisbon Falls, obviously, that's much more of a heavily populated area.
Yeah, and we did see that helicopter sort of, take a little swing up the Androscoggin, up north, and then you can see it swung back to where all those circles are, where kind of the really concentrated area where they seem to be focused on. Again, state officials told us earlier tonight they did locate the vehicle that they had been searching for in connection with this person of interest. They did find that in Lisbon, and shortly after that was obviously when they shifted their efforts to the Lisbon area, which appears to be very much ongoing and active.
And there could be, obviously there's two reasons when they have a concentrated search like this. They obviously are acting on information that a suspect or a person of interest or.
What the heck, y'all? This live was ended. It'll be available to watch. Man, come on. Let's jump back over and see if MSNBC's got anything popping. Nah, looks like they're still playing commercials.
Really like to travel, but cruising was the one thing that we enjoyed doing together.
We were in Rome. Oh, man, what the heck? Let me see if I can pull up something else, y'all. Let me see if I can find something else. Let's see. Let's see.
Trying to
There we go,
reunite
guys.
with their loved ones, and the situation seems to have calmed in that area of where everything happened earlier, where obviously 6 hours ago it was, total chaos, and now it's not. Now it's quiet and it's calm in that area. while the hundreds of law enforcement officers that are from our state and maybe beyond are searching vigilantly, to find that man right there.
So again, these are those photos that were released fairly soon after this shooting happened. Police sent these photos out with an initial search for him, and then we later learned his name, again, Robert Card. But these are the photos showing moments before what unfolded tonight.
I'm not going to restream him though, Stoney. I'm not going to restream other YouTubers like that because he's a YouTuber, so I can't stream that.
At Spare Time Recreation, and the vehicle that was found in Lisbon. We had a crew there where there were a lot of police officers.
Yeah, it's not that YouTuber. I'm not gonna throw no shade at that YouTuber, but he's, I don't know how I feel about that dude. So
well, he was not in that vehicle, but it was found tonight as well. So that's where
Roger Lane coming in. He likely switched to another vehicle or boat and could be long gone. I'm thinking boat. Me and Stoney, I think we're both on the boat. On River, Luna Moon says, you're right, wrong one. Yeah, no. As soon as I seen a little bit of that name in there, I was like, I can't do that one.
part of the search is continuing tonight as well, and also why Lisbon has a shelter in place and schools are closed there as well for tomorrow.
I mean, there is such a overwhelming feeling of sadness, Brian, that I know that we personally feel here, that we have heard from so many of our former colleagues, of friends who don't live here anymore, of a deep sadness and mourning for our state and what our state is going through, and what certainly the victims and their families are going through, and even the uncertainty of going to a place like the Reunification Center, not knowing what the answer is going to be. You know what your question is. You don't know what the answer is going to be until you get there. And that is just so unnerving that these people have to go through this. Our Alex Haskell is there at Auburn Middle School and has the latest on what's going on there. Hey, Alex.
Hi, Lee. I'll just go off of that. This is a place full.
Oh yeah, I know he'll hit me. And he's went after some people that I like a lot, so I'm not really that fond of the dude. I don't want to get in drama.
Of emotion, but also hope, where families can come and hopefully get some answers that they're looking for. And that main answer being, where's my loved one? What has happened to them? And we've seen many different answers come out of this building. We chatted with the mayor of Auburn, Jason Levesque, and he tells us we have heard everything from folks coming here and just getting the most horrific news, hearing that they have lost a loved one in all of this, but also good news.
Sorry, Miss Ann, my bad. I can see you.
We chatted with this woman. Her name was Lind. She came here looking for her husband, and she walked in the building, and she came out maybe 15 minutes later with her husband at her arm. So that was a good moment in all of this. I do want to introduce you to someone that we just spoke with. Her name is Maria Wilson. She came here looking for answers like so many have tonight. She was looking for her partner who was at Schmeggy's, the bar and grill, where one of the shootings happened. She came here after she was at the hospital because she had been told he was there and he was alive. That turned out not to be the case. They don't know where he is. So she is facing a lot of confusion, like so many families are tonight. And she also shared that her partner was with his friend who is in critical condition from being at the bar. Here's what she had to say about that situation.
I'm still in shock.
Thank you all for being here tonight. Appreciate you all. It was unplanned live, so seeing how many people rolled in tonight, feeling the love. So just want to throw that out there for y'all. Appreciate you guys.
I think we're all in shock. I think us as a community are. Right now, we're trying to figure out how we're going to tell his kids. He is almost 14-year-old. Her birthday is in 4 days. How are we going to tell her? Your dad's not going to be there. How does the mother go home to tell the kid? We don't know if he's alive or dead. We don't know where he is. We don't know what's going on.
Did you get one, Miss Ann? Cool. Right on.
Again, that was Maria Wilson talking about her partner's friend who is at one of the locations of these shootings, who is in critical condition tonight. Like I said, just a lot of emotion here, some good news, but also terrible news. But people here really trying to get answers for folks, and this is the place to come if you have any questions.
No problem, guys. No problem. I can do it. So, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, when I could do it, I definitely would love to throw those out there. And I appreciate you guys. Like I said, you guys are always showing up. I know there's some people that can't always afford it. So I've been blessed. So whenever you're blessed, I feel like you're supposed to give those blessings back. So, yeah, hopefully that, like, went to people that, couldn't get it right now. So much love, y'all. I appreciate y'all.
If you have any concerns, if you're looking for those loved ones, this is the Auburn Middle School, and its address is 38 Falcon Drive. We've seen things kind of slow down around here. Earlier, they were bringing people in, witnesses of tonight's events by the busloads. Just dozens of people of all ages, the youngest being teenagers, coming here. Brian and Lee, so this is the place to be. And I said earlier, this place is safe. Police are here, so this is a safe place to be.
Alex Haskell, live for us at Auburn Middle School. Certainly a place I cannot imagine the emotion in the air there. So thank you, Alex, for relaying some of what people are going through right now, of to what your point was earlier, Lee, of you show up, you know what the question is. You just don't know what the answer is going to be.
But you can feel it in watching Alex talk.
Yes.
Right? Watching Alex talk, my heart hurts. Right? Alex is from Maine. Right? He's like us. And
knows what it's like.
And our job is to talk to people like that poor woman who doesn't
One
know what's
second,
going
guys.
on. And it's literally heartbreaking to be talking about this, about our people in our state, with our people who are here. Lisbon was also a pretty active scene police-wise tonight. They were in the area of a boat launch in Lisbon on Frost Hill Road. Our Hannah Cumler was there when that happened and is still in Lisbon and joins us now. Hey, Hannah.
Haley, yeah, still in Lisbon,
Count back,
in Lisbon
guys.
Falls. If you hear loud noises, it's just a 18-wheeler passing in the background, not related to any law enforcement, just actually a Hannaford truck passing through. So with that, know that some of these roads are open. However, Lisbon Street is still blocked off towards Lisbon Center. When we last spoke with you, we told you it's about a mile that's
Thank you, Tasha. I appreciate that. That was very sweet of you.
blocked off in between until you hit the next roadblock, because we did make our way around. I'm standing in a little bit of a different location. I'm at the top of the driveway here at Lisbon High School, which we've been on this campus throughout the evening. But I wanted to show you this driveway here. We saw 3 tactical vehicles come down this driveway. We have yet to see them come back out.
Luna Moon says, I know your mom watches, but in case she is not, make sure she sees this. You have done a great job, Mama. Appreciate that, Luna Moon. I'll let her know.
In ways, this area where we've been kind of posted up here at the junction on Route 196 is quieter but still active. And the only reason I say that is because also, Sam, if you don't mind swinging around the gas station over here,
One
we had
second,
shown
guys.
earlier had several vehicles in it, unmarked police cars, and now there still are some, right? But this whole entire parking lot was full. And so there was a moment in time where all of a sudden all of them pulled out and were zooming, going very fast in the opposite direction. So we've had some leave, but then tactical vehicles come, and still no clear answer as this search continues. But I will say that the chopper is still present. It's not here right this second, but it has been the loudest we have heard it. And that's probably because it's been kind of hovering right over Lisbon High School. There have been reports that have been released on social media showing the track of that chopper, the flight path of that chopper, and it's done several loops all along the Androscoggin River, which is right behind Lisbon High School. And so where that chopper's flight track, it's been lots of loops around, but a heavy focus in this area. Once again, we do not know anything. We obviously know that the search is continuing here. We know that the empty car was found.
I'm back. And yes, Jim B, that's exactly what I was doing. How did you know? How did you know?
In Lisbon Falls, and that we attempted to go down to that boat launch.
And thank you for paying it forward. That's still sweet of you, Tashi. Still sweet of you.
earlier this evening on Frost Hill Avenue, but it was blocked off at that time. Now, there's still obviously a large police presence here, but all of those cars that left, they have not come back. So, you know, a lot of questions still out there, kind of in this period, at least here at this scene, where things are uncertain and you know stuff is happening, but you don't really know the answers. So Sam and I are constantly looking over our shoulders and getting back into our vehicle and away from the fray when we can.
Hey, that's a cool way to catch you bush dwellers, though. Drop some memberships on people. All of a sudden, you see who's dwelling in them bushes. Y'all could at least say hi. You don't have to chat. You at least let us know you're here, though, that you're watching. Dang, y'all.
Because there is a shelter in place here in Lisbon Falls. It is. We are supposed to be away from danger and safety, but law enforcement has done a really nice job making sure that we're informed of, you know, areas that we can and cannot be, and letting them do their jobs, letting us do our jobs, and just trying to keep everyone informed of what it's like here in Lisbon Falls.
It is, and dear Aunt Dana, it is. I'm telling you, we in that full swing Cavalcante flashback PTSD situation here. It is. It's just the American version, and oh my Lord.
Hannah Kumler, live for us once again in Lisbon Falls. Very interesting perspective, especially to be there and know that tactical vehicles went down one direction and you haven't seen them come back.
Yeah, and at the same time, you have to be real careful, which Hannah obviously did a great job doing. You know, you don't want to overreact to seeing something either.
Right.
So you don't have to, oh,
could be nothing.
This could be it. You know, it also could literally be nothing. So when we know something, we certainly will tell you.
In the meantime, we'll tell you what we see, which is exactly what Hannah was doing. Greg Marley from Naumi, Maine, has been with us for a few hours now and joins us again. We appreciate you being with us. You know, keep coming just back to how much there is to process.
Kay Marie, good to see you, ma'am. Thank you for being here. Hi, I am here, just too tired to type. Hey, thank you for, that's all you have to tell us. So that's all you have to tell us is, hey, much love, y'all. I'm chilling in the bushes. I'm too tired to type, y'all. So just, but I appreciate you. Thank you for dropping in.
But there's the weight, I think, of the numbers we're hearing that are unofficial in itself, and kind of just the uncertainty feeling of this person's out there.
All of Maine is going to sleep tonight uncertain about what's happening, whether this alleged
Corvette girl, good to see you. Thank you for letting us know you chilling in the bushes. Appreciate you.
Trader is going to be captured. And so they're going to bed feeling less safe, and they're going to wake up the same way. And parents need to face their children to reassure them. You know, most of the state is going to have school tomorrow, but not in the immediate area around Androscoggin County. But how do you send your children out on that?
All right, guys, we're going to switch over to another broadcast because this guy's going to put me to sleep.
Trying to find Robert Card, identified by Maine State Police as a person of interest, at least in this case. His vehicle, a vehicle that he was believed to be in, the white Subaru that we've been showing throughout our coverage, that has been found. That was found in Lisbon earlier. And
yeah, dear Aunt Dana, I had to get rid of alerts. We had to move on. That boy, man, he killing me.
Now they're still looking for him, though, here now just about 2:20 in the morning.
We're really kind of trying to cover the elements of this story, of which there are many, but it's you know, there's families, there are grieving people there.
You could tell all these news broadcasters are struggling right now. They are not used to having to do their job exhausted. Whereas like some of us YouTubers, dude, we could stream a hot 7-8 hours straight, easy on this stuff. Like I'm over here, I've been up since this morning before I did my live this morning with you guys. Did the live, went to class, did a 5-hour class, got off, did a 2-hour workout, and then jumped back on this bad boy, and I'm still rolling. Like, hey, get these people some coffee.
People that are hurting, there are people who are recovering, and at the same time, a law enforcement search.
Oh, Mr. Mab, good to see you, sir. Thank you for dropping in. Thank you for dropping in.
Far and wide is evolving as we speak, and we've been trying to kind of cover that element of the story as well. He is considered.
Much love, Miss Ann. Much love. You have a good night, ma'am. I'll see you on the next one.
armed and dangerous Robert Card. He is reportedly a weapons instructor with a military background. He's 40 years old from Bowdoin, and police are asking if you know him or know anything about his alleged plot or if he had ever said anything to you. They're asking you to call law enforcement, call 911. On your screen, you can see some of the bullet points that we've learned about Card over these last couple of hours as police continue to search for him. History of military service, firearms instructor, and has a mental health.
TLC is me. Good to see you, ma'am. No, they haven't found this man yet. We're looking at Cavalcante 2.0 now.
History, including a stay this summer at a mental health facility that was reportedly 2 weeks long, and he was released after that. So, this is somebody who has weapons training, who is familiar with weapons. Our first look at who we believe to be Robert Card, this person of interest, showed what police called an AR-15 style rifle, and we've heard from another.
Oh yeah, much worse. Maybe I should have said like 5.0. Maybe Cavalcante 5.0. It's a lot worse. You're right. It is way worse.
Number of FBI sources who say it looked like he had some sort of extended magazine. Now, of course, all of these details will come out as the investigation continues, but this is according to our reporting and our FBI.
Love you, Miss Ann. We'll be praying for you. Always.
Sources, and we continue to cover the search for Robert Card, which most recently has been focused in Lisbon.
And Rich Kolko, the former FBI agent we spoke with earlier, saying that he believes that this would not have been something where he just walked into one of these locations, but probably someplace that he had been before, the just-in-time bowling alley, the pool hall.
Roger Lynn, Cavalcante with an automatic weapon, arms instructor, military background, and mental health issues. Okay, 10.0. Okay, Roger Lynn 10.0. Cavalcante 10.0. All right.
On Lincoln Street. And so if that's a place that you frequent, maybe not tonight, but maybe if you saw him there, perhaps, and he said something to you, something that now looking back seems that it may help police, help law enforcement. You are asked to call 911 to report that information, could help them find him as that search continues. And as that search continues, of course, we've been talking about some of these mental health impacts and how the day may play out tomorrow, how the early morning, the late night may play out. So we do want to pause for a moment here to just pass along.
I'm still holding to my, if they don't get the guy within 12 hours that he unalives himself, I'm still sticking with that. I still feel like that's how it's going to play out. I know Stoney don't agree with me because he's too much, this guy's too much of a narcissist, but that's my prediction, y'all. We'll see if I'm right.
A phone number that we've been asked to share. The shooting certainly a hard and distressing time for anyone, and the substance and mental health services.
Because look, if it's like a mental break type situation and he's out there long enough, he might have a moment of clarity, realize what he did, and he might just.
Administration reminding this number right here. It is here for you. If you are watching, there is help available. If you just need to talk, you can call or text the number on your screen. That is 988. Again, 988, that is the Suicide Crisis Lifeline. If you need mental health support as you are at home or still at work, perhaps you're in a lockdown situation, some scary moments, really, I think, no matter where you are.
So Map says, yeah, cowards unalive themselves. Roger Lynn says, I think when they have him cornered, he will off himself. Here's what I think. I have a little bit of a different opinion on it. I think if they corner him, I think he shoots it out with them. I think he makes them unalive him so that he could take more people out. But I feel like if they can't literally even find where he's at within the next 12 hours, I think he gets that moment of clarity at all. If this is a mental break situation, he's going to end up offing himself. That's just my opinion, though. That's just my opinion. How the heck could he do all of that and not be caught? Military background, firearms instructor, knew exactly what he was doing. That's a whole different mental state than your average shooter. Let's see. Angela K. Hey, good to see you.
In the state, tonight as we're seeing some of these images come in and hearing some of the details unfolding about the number of deaths and the number of people hurt in Lewiston tonight.
And we've done stories about mental health. We know how important it is to tell people to just talk about it. If you're feeling any kind of pressure or stress or sadness or depression, that number is there for you to help you. And to that point, we have been checking in with Terry Stackhouse throughout the evening.
Yeah, I don't think Dolly should go there. I don't think this is a situation where, in all honesty, I wouldn't be surprised if JLR shows up there, but his style of channel, he could do that. I don't feel like it would be worth the money that Dolly would have to spend to go do that. I just don't. I think he could do just as good when he goes live, and he's going to go live in less than a half hour. He could do the same thing I'm doing and cover it just as well. Let's see. Let me catch up. It's okay, brother. We don't have to agree. Sorry, the damn phone is a narcissist. But they already calling in the pro team from Virginia. They can't have a 10+ day manhunt repeat, especially this guy. Too dangerous. I hope that you're right, dear Aunt Donna, because that's where I was pissed off with Cavalcante. Is I felt like they should have had that perimeter locked down by law enforcement, but law enforcement should have just locked the perimeter down, and they should have immediately brought in the manhunters, people that are trained and know how to hunt human beings. I'm with you on that. Map says, what's whack job offing, folks? He doesn't even know. What the hell could he be? What possible motive? Voices telling him to do it is. Yep, that's what they're saying. They're saying that's why he was locked up. I look for a way bigger response on this. Yeah. You would think so after that situation popped off. You would think so. He may fight at first, but he won't be taken alive. That's what I'm saying is I agree with that, but I think that even if they don't find his location within a certain amount of time, I think that he ends up just doing it himself. He's going live in a half hour. Yeah, I know. I got the notification. Yeah. Same here, cutie blue eyes. Sure is having that. No, she's not joking. He literally said, I'll even double check it for y'all because, like, realistically, I should already been in bed, like 2-3 hours ago. But you know me. So it's saying 12 a.m. it's saying 12 a.m. for me. So that's like less than 30 minutes, y'all. So he will be live. So he could pick up where I left off. I could go take a 5-hour nap. And if they ain't caught this dude by the time that I get back up to do the morning live, we back on it. So that'll work perfectly, to be honest with y'all. Let's see what else y'all are saying. Let's see. The article I found on Facebook said they already had ATF and FBI agents from ME involved. They might want to bring more people. Those Border Patrol people. Let's get the dog in here. What's the dog name? Yoda. Was it Yoda? Was it Yoda, the dog? Let's get the Yoda in here, man. Yoda have this boy all. He be having hemmed up quick. Let's see. Says and does are two different things. I know, but I've watched it. He actually posted that notification like a little while ago, and it's held to the 12. So he hasn't changed the time. So y'all might be good. Damn, 3 a.m. for you, TLC is me. Woo. That's late. That's late or early, really early. One of the two.
Evening, and he is at that unification.
Let's just go ahead.
Testimony, a man named Brandon who was at the bowling alley. Let's take a listen to what he has to say.
Side and just normal night of bowling, and out of nowhere he just came in and there was a loud pop. Thought it was a balloon. I had my back turned to the door, and as soon as I turned and saw that it was not a balloon, he was holding a weapon. I just booked it down the lane, and I slid basically into where the pins are and climbed up in the machine and was on top of the machines for about 10 minutes until the cops got there.
Holy shit, guys.
The whole thing was fucked up. It was just, I don't know how to explain it. I don't think you're supposed to see that in real life. Over 10. Where at least I knew they were shots. And then when I got on top of the bowling machine, it was a lot of.
So my boy turned around, seen that firearm, he ran his ass down the lane, slid up under where the pins are, crawled up in the machine. Yo, that is crazy. Could you imagine? I grew up around a bowling alley. My mom's dad, he owned a bowling alley, so I'm very familiar with all those inner workings, and that's insane. I couldn't even imagine.
Ruckus back there, so I don't really know from that, but I heard the first one. It was probably 15 feet behind me. I mean, it was close, very close.
Wow, some really.
You know, like to take off running down the slick ass lane and slide under that machine, dude. That, bro, man, I don't know. That takes some testicular fortitude, my friend. That's something else.
Compelling words from Brandon there, especially the moment where he described having to hide inside the mechanism of the bowling alley until police arrived.
And that moment of panic and that quick thinking, climbing into the pins as he described it, and then going up into the mechanism just to try to find a place to shelter. Other witnesses who were there this evening, including
bro, that is literally you're a grown ass man, and it's so much fear that you're literally running down a bowling lane and crawling up into a damn machine to hide. That's another level of fear, y'all. That's insane. I'm trying to wrap my mind around it because I know how the bowling alley works, and holy shiz.
a child telling us that her daughter is in a kids' bowling league, bowling with friends, setting dinner, watching the kids bowl, and then this is what they see enter through the door.
Stony Stone, we own one now with a bar in the restaurant, and we own a supper club bar in Wisconsin. Hey. I'm gonna have to go visit Stony Stone.
As described by the Androscoggin sheriff, releasing the photo of him earlier tonight, as they described.
I agree with you, Matt, on that. Great place to hide. Like to have to be in that much fear, right? That you got to go hide like a child, but to have that state of mind, that presence of mind to actually like calculate to do that in your brain in that type of situation, that's something else, man.
This person with an AR-15 style gun walking into the bowling alley and then moving from that scene to a bar just a few miles away.
And that person of interest is believed to be.
And I'm telling you guys, I feel like this was planned, and he knew exactly what establishments to hit. He knew exactly where there would be the most amount of people. I'm telling you, and I bet you it's lined up with his getaway too. I got a feeling this was all planned. Like every part of this was planned.
Robert Card. Police are still looking for him at this hour, and we know that this all.
And when I say planned, I mean like highly detailed plan, because it's the only thing to explain how he was able to, even with his skill set, to go on there and efficiently unalive that many people and to get away and to still be on the run with multiple agencies after him.
All started, according to the Commissioner of Public Safety here in the state. It started at 6:56, so we're hours now.
Oh, and Gator Hater, yeah, those machines, not a whole lot of room. So that's why I'm trying to wrap my mind around how that big dude ran and slid up underneath that thing and got up in there. I mean, smart though, pretty dang smart.
Now into this manhunt for this person of interest, as we're now learning a little bit more about what transpired, what happened in these two locations when these shootings went down. You could kind of hear in Brandon's account of how he thought everything played out, just sort of the surprise. I was just out bowling and I heard a pop, a moment that will change probably the rest of his life, if not, for a very long time. We're also hearing from children who were inside that bowling alley as well.
Dozens of people were.
So they're saying like the youngest ages of the victims, as of the reports right now, are in their teenagers. So This dude went in there in the bowling alley, he took out teenagers.
Presumably there, because we know that there are many people, the latest numbers, dozens hurt in Lewiston, at least 20 people dead, according to reporting from ABC News. And as we look through this transcript with Riley Dumont, she was there with her family this evening. And, this is just truly remarkable that people were not screaming, they say, but whimpering. And that really was the moment that started all of this. And now the manhunt that still continues now into the early morning hours, as police are calling this mass casualty event. They are looking for a person of interest, and this is the person who they've identified.
Oh, I'm right there with you, TLC. It hurts my heart too. And some of these interviews they've done, especially with that father they did the interview with earlier, that broke my heart, man. But all I'm hoping for is law enforcement to catch up with this dude and to engage and neutralize this threat without any casualties. That's what I'm praying for. I hope they get to him before he pulls his own plug. I know I'm not supposed to be, violence, this, whatever, but that's just how I feel, y'all.
Identified, and the details continue to unfold.
Oh, you're welcome, man. You're welcome. Anytime I could cover something like this, man, I'm on it. I'm definitely on it.
As we don't know where or how this is going to end, but we do know hundreds of law enforcement are working to try to bring this to a resolution so that there is no more loss of life here in the state of Maine today.
And speaking of, you mentioned this statistic earlier on, but now the National Gun Violence Archive they are reporting that this mass shooting in Lewiston is already the deadliest shooting of the year. And this is at that 20 people mark that we have been reporting, dozens more injured. This is the 565th.
Yes, I do, Ty. Definitely prayers to these families, guys, and prayers to all the first responders, all these medical people, all law enforcement that are dealing with this situation, man. Prayers to all of them. This whole community shook right now. Even the news broadcasters are shook.
Fifth mass shooting of this year, 2023, and the 31st mass murder. This is according to the Gun Violence Archive.
Those numbers lining up with our other reporting from the Associated Press, Northeastern University, which is also tracking.
Stony Stone said the sadness is coming within the next few days. This is just the beginning of the family is about to start interviewing, and it's going to get very sad. You ain't lying.
Just emotionally, but also law enforcement support and resources from the FBI, from ATF Boston. This is a division-wide response, they say. Agents from all 6 New England states, quote, supporting our law enforcement partners, because as we talked with Rich Kulko, the former FBI agent, he was saying time really is of the essence here. And usually, in most cases where there's been a mass shooting, it doesn't extend for this amount of time. But what we are seeing is it is, in this case here in Maine, it's extending for many hours. And the
Guys,
search for a person of
we're gonna
interest
jump
you're seeing
over
there
to
on
the
your
other
screening.
one.
Central Maine Medical Center. This
We're
is the
jumping over to
closest
this
hospital
feed.
to the location.
Why is it doing that to me
of
though?
these
Wait up, guys. I gotta
horrific
push.
shootings. Now, it is fairly
Gotta
quiet
jump back over to
here
this
at
feed
this
just
hour.
to fix the volume on this one.
And as we
There we go.
report,
There have also just been a handful of regular vehicles, as you just saw one pass by. Now, what we have been seeing, and this was a bit earlier on today, my colleague Jack Molmid was on scene, and there were dozens of families, dozens of loved ones that were arriving to Central Maine Medical Center looking for information, unsure if their loved one had died, unsure if they were injured or brought to a different hospital. Even just about 15 minutes ago, there was 3 individuals that came out of the hospital. They did not wish to speak with us, but they shared an emotional moment where they were hugging each other, and it is clear the impact that this has had on the community here in Lewiston, as well as Auburn. I had mentioned my colleague Jack Molmid. He had the chance to speak with Leroy Walker. He's a counselor in Ward 5 in the city of Auburn. Now, Counselor Walker says that his son, Joseph Walker, goes by Joey, is a manager at Schmengen, one of the establishments that was attacked. He said that he can feel it in his heart. Take a listen.
If you had my gut right now.
Bro, trigger warning, guys. This interview right here is it hurts, man. This interview hurts. I watched it earlier. Trigger warning. If you weren't here earlier, trigger warning.
I feel like I'm squashed with a vice. My neck and the back of my head feels like there's a vice squashing it the other way. And I don't know, telling you the truth, what kind of night this is going to be from now until tomorrow when I wake up to the true facts that my son is dead, and I know he's dead. I know it as well as I know. I'm standing here telling you because he's not here and he's not in any other hospital and he's not running the streets, so he would have called us because he manages Schemengees. So I know he was there.
Now, Counselor Walker, who you just heard from, says he has not heard.
My heart's broken for that dad. Man, I don't even know. I ain't got words, y'all. I ain't got words.
From his son since this has happened, and said that's uncommon. Said they typically don't go a day without staying in touch with each other, and this is something that many are navigating and dealing with today and looking for answers. Now, we do know right now that NBC News is reporting between 50 and 20 people have died as a result of this mass shooting. And NBC News also reporting around 50 others have been injured as a result. These are still numbers we're working to confirm with local law enforcement as well as hospitals. This is something we're going to be updating you throughout the evening as we learn more. But again, right now at Central Maine Medical Center, it is fairly quiet here. We've just seen a couple ambulances come by. There are law enforcement officers that are here, but we have not seen too many. There's just one car with its lights on. But again, we'll be continuing to update you as we learn more about the conditions of those impacted in the.
Tarzilla, good to see you. Well, crap. I didn't know you were covering this. Didn't get a notification. They get him. Hope they get him. Go do this somewhere. Yep. Oh man, I'm sorry to get the notification, man. YouTube's been like that. It's been unsubscribing people, unringing people's bells, the whole nine. So y'all just gotta, I guess, stay on top of it. I've been having to check my own stuff to see if I'm still subscribed to people I like. Let's see, Stony Sun. Yeah, that's sad. I just couldn't even imagine. No, it was devastating, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Miss Luna. Oh my Lord. Hey, dang, man. This world is rough, y'all. It's rough.
That's a horrific shooting. Lee.
All right, Sean, thank you very much. Appreciate that. You know, we felt the love, right? We've felt the love from our friends who have texted us. You guys, you know, hey, I'm so sorry for what you guys are going through. And for people who've been watching us from all across the country who have heard about this and have gone, you know, to our app, and you're watching us now to get the very latest on this. And it is nice to feel the love from people. I mean, nothing's going to make this pain go away. We love this state. It's nice to see other people love the state. And scrolling through social media, people have never been to this state. Some say, my heart is with Maine. I've never been there. Right. I want to go there. I wish I could hug everybody in Maine. A great way I saw it. Maine is.
Yeah, Luna, that's pretty much where I'm at right now. I'm having a hard time like finding words. You know what I mean? I'm one of those people that are. I guess I'm kind of an empath, but I know how to control it. But I'm very empathetic. I have the ability to put myself in other people's shoes, and I'll let myself kind of marinate in that feeling that I know it's not close to what they're feeling, but I still do. You know what I mean? Like regardless if I want to or not. So like right now, I'm at the point where that father's interview, other people that have been interviewed, just the facts of it all, right? Just the facts of it all has got me. It's. I mean, it's upsetting as hell. No way around it. Let's jump over to this other feed. I want to see if they're saying anything new over here.
TF agents coming as well.
Damn it! Why does it
help
keep
out in the
doing
search,
this?
but it is
It's doing this weird thing where it's like
parts of all of this.
100%.
There we go.
You know, obviously we trust in our law enforcement. And if you are in the Lewiston area, if you are in the Lisbon area, stay home, stay safe, shelter in place, let law enforcement take that lead and let them do their job.
Map says, why can't these lunatics just off themselves without taking others with them? I just don't get it. I'm with you, brother. I wish they just, you know what I mean? Take care of it. You know, just take care of yourself, bro. Just, why you gotta take others with you? Yeah, it's hard to control for sure. I learned how to control that empath thing. I learned, like, I didn't know what gave me anxiety forever, right? And then I realized what it was. But I learned how to control that, but it's still like I can't, especially with like parents. Man, I got babies, so the moment a parent starts telling a story like that, it hits me hard. It means a lot that you care to. Man, and some of y'all have told me stories about your own lives that, man, my heart goes out to a lot of you guys. Y'all, I don't know if you guys know or care, but like y'all literally in my prayers every day. I heard Wednesday nights were for teen bullying there, so I dread hearing the ages of the victims. Yeah, we've already we haven't got exact ages, but we're being told it's teenagers and up. We haven't heard about any kids below the teen level, but teens and up. TLC is me. All right, guys. So, even if Dolly's not going live at 12, which he's supposed to be going live in like 5 minutes, with what I'm seeing, even if he's not, guys, I definitely should get off of here and get myself to sleep, get a couple hours in, and like I said, I'm gonna come back live. If this is over, awesome, great. If it's not, I'm gonna cover it. If it's over, we'll touch on it. And I already have a couple articles, a couple news updates that I want to cover with y'all tomorrow morning. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. You guys know it takes me 10 minutes. Don't leave yet. Don't freaking leave me yet. Let me do my wrap up. Okay, it'll only take me about 5 minutes. You guys won't miss Dolly. Trust me, it'll be all right. Let me do my wrap up. But for sure, 7 a.m. at least West Coast time, we're gonna be back at it, and we'll either cover this or we'll cover something else. But let me give my shout outs to all my people. All right, all the subscribers and members that have donated already in the month of October. Let me give my shout outs, y'all. All right, Sweet Misery True Crime, Jeannie Ange, Miss Dawn, Sassy7, Criminal Med with 2 donations, BM Turtle Madness with 3 donations, Darzilla, Back Row Becky, TLC is me with 2 donations, Stony Stone Black Vault News, Miss Darcy, Moto Mom 23, and Angela K. Much love to all y'all. Thank you for supporting the channel. And like for anybody that's new here, those donations don't go to me so I can go have a drink or party or eat or go on a vacation. This goes back to the channel. It's helping pay for all the programs to run it, and then the rest of it's going towards new equipment. So if you leave a donation, please leave your screen name, and all the links to leave a donation will be in the channel description and the video description. So if you do leave a donation, leave the screen name so I could put you up. I could, 1, give you a shout out, and 2, put you up on the donation wall for the next month. And then, leave me a note. Let me know what you think about the channel for sure. I always love criticism, good or bad. Let me know. But yeah, and if you don't want to donate money, but you might want to help with equipment, I have a registry, an Amazon registry. And it's literally just, it's nothing like for me. It's all equipment to make the studio better, to make the program better. So if you all do that, I appreciate you. Much love. You don't have to do it, but if you do it, I mean, like I said, I get shout outs and I appreciate it. I appreciate it all. Other than that, if you want to get a hold of me, link up with me on socials, my Instagram, my Facebook, my X, and then also my email. Those are also in the descriptions for the video and the channel description. So link up with me. Let me know. I think that's it, guys. That's all I got. See, I was a faster wrap up than usual. Wait up. Almost forgot one more thing. All right. Dear Aunt Dana, thank you for the super sticker. And thank you also for becoming a member. Welcome to the Piscine gang. Best family on YouTube, yo. I'll argue with anybody on it. And then Miss Tashi, thank you for donating that membership. I appreciate that. You didn't have to. Much love for passing that back. All right, guys. Now I'm caught up, y'all. Now I'm caught up. Now we can now I can let y'all go. So I'm not gonna see you over at Dolly's. I hope you guys have a good time over there. Drop some fish icons over there for your boy. You know, let him know at least I'm there in spirit. I gotta go to bed though. That being said, I love y'all. Thank you for being here on this live. Hope you had a good time. Appreciate the coverage and whatnot. But yeah, it's your boy, the real Piscine Predator, aka TPP baby. And until next video or next live, I'm out, y'all. Much love. Peace.